Welcome to Afterthoughts, everybody. We're going to get into some weird shit tonight. I am your host, Michael Dixon. This is the podcast where we talk about a movie and our thoughts after watching it. This is going to be one of the weirder episodes of this podcast. We've had some podcasts that have gone to some pretty strange places, but I'm very excited for this conversation tonight. With me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Ryan King.
And this is for once not John and I's fault for going off the rails.
Yeah, it's fully my fault.
It's insane. Dixon even did the hesitant breath that he usually reserves for us when he's about to
myself.
ask why we did this.
And John Garcia.
I am happy to be here for this. It feels like for a brief moment, we're all going to have been on the same page and wavelength for the entirety of an episode.
Yeah.
And it's going to be glorious, I think. Although I know, Dixon, before we recorded this, you said you felt like maybe you were going to be playing a game Ryan invented.
Yes. I feel like Ryan is going to take this to places I've never even considered, and I'm so excited to hear Ryan's thoughts about this.
That's true. I've been going off on this for a while, so
his thesis on it.
I have more notes than I've ever taken on any movie we've ever done, written down on this. Folks, if you're wondering what we're talking about tonight, recently I was hanging out with my wife and we didn't have too much to do, and she suggested that we watch A Bug's Life from 1998, I believe, Pixar film. I was like, sure, I haven't seen that since I was like a kid. Why not? It's not good, but it's Pixar's second film after Toy Story. They're kind of figuring things out. Big step down from Toy Story, but it's whatever. It makes sense. There are rules to how the universe works. Then after that, Lindsay was like, we need to watch Cars.
Okay, here we go. Focus. Speed.
Hey, Lightning, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
The rookie sensation came into the season unknown, but everyone knows him now.
You're my hero, Mr. McQueen.
Fred, thank you.
He knows my name. He knows my name.
California, here I come!
Holy Porsche.
Ow!
Where am I?
You're in Radiator Springs, the cutest little town in Carburetor County. Hey, that's that. You need a new paint job, man.
All rise.
Sure.
How about some organic fuel?
Take a car wash, hippie.
This place is crazy.
I gotta get out of here.
You're funny. I like you already.
Folks around here are not firing on all cylinders, if you know what I mean.
I've never seen any of the Cars movies. It came out in 2006. I was 16 or 17 when it came out and completely uninterested in like kids movies at that age, and just never went back and saw it. I have always heard great things about Cars. People seem to love that movie.
From who?
I don't know. I don't know why I've heard great things.
From the 7-year-olds you're hanging around?
Yeah.
Like people my age that saw it were always like, why haven't you seen Cars yet? It's so good. And like
good.
as adults, people seem to look back on it fondly as this great early Pixar film and or early-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
But so we sat down and watched Cars, and I was completely unprepared for the level of batshit insanity in this movie. Like, this is hands down one of the craziest movies I've ever seen in my life. And like, I don't like, I've seen so much trippy, weird shit. David Lynch, Son of the White Mare, all kinds of craziness. And I'm like, Cars is up there with some of the most batshit cinema of all time. This is John Lasseter directed film. He did Toy Story. He did A Bug's Life. He did Cars. He did Toy Story 2. Maybe also Cars 2. And that's it for the now canceled John Lasseter's directorial career with Pixar. But it's like Toy Story is a world that has very well-defined rules. And everything makes sense within the world that they have created. Like, can toys walk around and talk to each other and do crazy shit? Obviously not, but he's created a world where that makes sense. The toys are manufactured by toy companies through the normal process that we know. They then have the ability to animate themselves when humans are not around. And then they have to like drop back into toy form when the humans are back. It's fantastical, but the rules are well defined. Everything makes sense within the world that has been set up. Cars, there's just no thought put into this at all. Just the most wild fucking shit that's just inconsistency upon inconsistency that keeps building into an incongruous mass of bullshit that just makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, the plot is very straightforward. It's like the plot of every movie ever where, you know, cocky son of a bitch it ends up having to like, you know, he loses his way, has to go to like rural America and get down with like the real folk, the, you know, the salt of the earth people, and then like learn something about himself and become more humble in order to then like go out and be a better person and maybe not win the race, but, you know, do it honorably. And that's just kind of like the plot of half of the movies that have ever been made. And it's really boring. The characters are incredibly flat. There's not much going on here from a story or character perspective. It's 2 hours. I don't know how they were able to get it this long. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, where like Toy Story is like 85 minutes and it has this huge sweeping story that goes, you know, very fully developed characters. You feel like it's a longer movie when you think back on it because it's so well developed. Cars is like, man, that can't be more than like 75 minutes, right? It's just so simple and straight. The plot is there's nothing there, but it just takes so long. I don't know why they need this much movie to tell this story. It's a bad movie. Just going to get that out of the way from the jump. Why is Owen Wilson cast as a race car? He's made his entire career out of being like a chill, slow, probably high all the time dude, and he's a race car? I don't understand what's going on there. Larry the Cable Guy is Larry the Cable Guy. I know he's literally playing a cartoon character, but Pixar normally tries to give depth to some of these characters, and he's like a cartoon of a cartoon. Mm-hmm. You know, they could have cast somebody that had a little bit more acting chops, like Randy Quaid would have been great in this. Yeah. Or, you know, somebody of that ilk that could have brought a little bit more life to the role. The movie's really dumb. But I don't really want to talk about the movie. I want to talk about what the fuck these things are, because they're not cars in any sense of the word in which we know it. They're some sort of weird, fucked up, different species in a world of no rules that makes no sense. I'm so curious to delve into what this society is like, what all the cars are doing. We're going to get into all that. For now, I'm just going to pass it to Ryan and for your initial thoughts on the film, and then we'll kind of go from there. And this is going to be a rather unhinged episode with very little structure, I imagine. But buckle up. If you haven't seen Cars since you were a kid, it's weird. Ryan?
Yeah. Yes. Once you mentioned it, I got excited because I wanted to talk about Cars 2 with someone for so long, because that movie
oh my God.
Unhinged.
We will talk about Cars 2 as well.
Yes. I also took the opportunity to watch, I had watched Planes before, but I rewatched it and I checked out
I've not seen
these extended
either
universe,
of the Planes movies.
There's not do his homework.
There's not much. Yeah, I just did the rest of my homework to pull out a couple of things from there. I have watched some of the little like shorts just with the kids a long time ago, and I remember a few weird things, but those may or may not be like canon to what's already bizarre. But Cars 2 is just, so many people talk about how bad of a movie it is because it just focuses on Mater, but it's the insanity of just things that they throw out without thinking about them that takes it to a whole nother level.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually sat down and watched all three of the Cars movies with Ella. She also like went off on all kinds of things. And once I was telling her I was looking for crazy things, she just started pointing out things that I hadn't even caught before.
Amazing.
I know she's watched the movie a few times when she was little, but it's been so long she didn't remember it all. And I think she's seen Cars 2, but doesn't remember that. None of the family had seen Cars 3. So this is also my first time watching Cars 3. I think my second time watching Cars 2, and it's absolutely what I remembered. And Logan liked cars when he was real little. He had a car bed and like car stuff in his room, which is crazy.
Wait, does that mean he saw the inside of the car?
Yeah, I guess he knew what it was like in there. It is crazy how long the time between the sequels of Pixar's movies where they go back, like Toy Story 5 just came out, where it's the age you were when you watched one of them to the next one coming out, and it acts like no time has really passed, but you've gone from a child to an adult. Like, it's really weird that they're obviously just like marketing it in a new group. Like Cars 3 came out, my kids had no interest. They were way too old to give a shit about Cars 3, even though they watched Cars 1 10 times as a child and have forgotten it, apparently. So yeah, that's also just like a bizarre, like, why are they going back to this well? Other than Cars fucking sold toys hard and still does. Yeah. Like that idea just banked them so much because it's such a simple, clear idea. I think the Planes toys are still out there and probably selling because do you guys remember, maybe you don't, maybe not, maybe I'm old enough to this, they used to sell the VHS tapes of just like trains, and it was just fucking footage of trains with like non-copyright music over the top of it. Yeah. And you just buy it for your kid, pop it in, sit them down. It was the iPad of my time where it was just like little kids that were just obsessed. Yes. Yeah. Big machines, trains, cars, whatever. They just had VHSs. I find them all the time in these, like when I go look at Goodwill or whatever, there's tons of them still. So yeah, this is essentially that. You just put it in front of your kid. They sit down. They're like, yay, cars. And they try to give it a plot and some jokes for parents. And it is in the bottom ranks of the Pixar. Like it was really the first bad Pixar movie, in my opinion.
A Bug's Life is bad.
I'm mixed on A Bug's Life. I think it's early. They're figuring it out. Like there's fun parts of it.
Bug's
But you're
Life
right.
Had ants to bounce off of, and so
yeah,
it was
compared
superior
to ants.
in quality.
Yes, yeah. But you're right. Yeah, there's some really weak parts to A Bug's Life when you compare it to Toy Story or Toy Story 2 or like some of these real Incredibles, like highs that they hit. But Cars was definitely the first sellout, and then it was like by Cars 2, it's downhill, and I haven't seen a good one in a while. So yeah, this is like the beginning of the end of Pixar.
Yeah.
John, what were your thoughts on Cars? I assume you had seen it before.
I had seen it before. I remember telling you and having to qualify that Cars was my first Blu-ray I ever owned.
Yes.
And I was like, it was not by choice. It was given as part of the bundle with a 27-inch LCD Samsung TV that I got for Christmas. And to be fair, it looked glorious. It was really beautiful for the time. I remember being blown away by the colors and whatever. But I also remember being like, this is the movie that I have to have in my collection that I can like look at on this screen. So I remember seeing it in theaters too and being like, something's fucking boring about all of this and just so kind of hollow. And I was like, when I left the theater, I was like, I guess fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't give a shit. And I just went home and I never really thought about Cars again. I was like, I don't fucking want to go see it again. I'm fine.
I can't not stop thinking about Cars. I saw it for the first time like 3 weeks ago, and I've now watched it again, and it's just in my head forever.
I know.
And I talk to everyone I see about it.
Yeah.
And everyone tells me, you're crazy. This is just a fun kids movie. Why are you being so weird about this? And I was like, I know John and Ryan are going to want to talk to me and get on this level about this fucking movie.
Yeah, I picked up Darla and Logan from the airport today and talked about Cars 3 on the whole car ride home.
Nice.
It is a transformative experience. As an adult, when you watch it, you're like, what the fuck is any of this? Because you're able to just question all of it. But when I saw it and I was like, a teen or whatever, I was just like, okay, like, sure. I'm not really into it. Yeah, I was in that phase where I was like, I'm not really into kids movies, but it was nice to look at. Fucking, I don't care about the rest of the stuff. Tommy Chong's in it. Sure. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I know about that. Why not? Yeah. Watching it again. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why as an adult I should be watching this because I feel like I'm just going to get mad, and I did get mad. I remember texting Dixon about it in the middle, like just random thing, like when I discovered that there were bugs in the world, and I was like, I fucking saw it, and I gave him like the timestamp of it, and you were like, they're only on screen for 2 seconds, and I was like, that 2 seconds filled me with existential dread, and it is a horror that echoes into eternity. I don't think they thought about the implications of this. And a lot of other questions that just unfolded. I was like, how did the Cars know that they were rednecks? What is a redneck? Do they have necks? Did they know about that part? Like, why is it slur in this fucking universe? All of those things just end up like bubbling to the top the more that you think about the movie. And so it's like, I think I described it as being just, it's like watching something that somebody wrote from their dream journal and then they just pumped it full of like all of the puns possible and they had no regard for any other aspect in the movie. But it builds a nightmare world that is fantastic to think about in the most like absurd way. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I was blown away by this movie, though I was on some illicit substances while watching it. It definitely floored me in like a negative way. and it drove me through a lot of points of thought that I didn't think I would drive through. Yeah, I'm just excited to fucking talk about not the movie itself, but everything around the movie and in the movie that is just fucking wild. So yeah, without further ado, I mean, I'll turn the wheel back over to you, Dixon. Let's drive this through Cars 1 into all of the other stuff.
Yeah. So like the first thing that we have to address is like, what are these things? I think. And that can build into what the fuck is this whole society broadly. And we're obviously going to have we're probably going to have a lot of random conversation jumping back and forth between movies and stuff. But like these cars, allegedly, they don't open their doors. We don't know what's inside them. No car in any of the 3 movies ever opens its doors.
Yeah, their guts would spill out.
There is
yeah.
There is a
right?
point in one of the shorts where Mater opens his door, but I think that's it. And you don't get you don't see it from the side. You don't see this. You just see it from he's head on and he opens it and then it closes. That's it. But we do have the weirdness of like airplanes and helicopters.
Yes,
that you can be
doors.
inside of.
Yeah,
and that's not a sex.
There's a helicopter at the end of Cars 1 where Mater is riding around in it, and so you do have the concept of a car getting inside something else, but the cars themselves don't ever seem to open their doors. They don't why are the eyes the windshield? That doesn't make any sense to me. You remember those Chevron ads where like they had the cars with the eyes were the headlights and they sold toys and stuff? That makes way more sense to me than having the eyes be the windshield. I think the only reason that they ended up having to make the eyes the windshield is because their main car is a NASCAR and it doesn't have headlights. And so they had to put the eyes somewhere else.
Yep.
And so it creates weird concept that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Lasseter wanted it that way where it was headlights, and that was the original mock-ups and designs they did. But I think what happened is they realized there's a lot of visual real estate that is just the top of the car that they're losing.
Yeah.
That they felt like they could get more emotion, like more emoting, which they are very there is a lot of, and I guess if it's just all in the hood, essentially, there's sort of a loss of how expressive they can be.
Maybe, but I don't know. I thought those Chevron cars were pretty expressive.
It could have been, you know what? They could have opened themselves up to a better joke if they had the headlights be like the eyes, because then you could have a car that's stuffed with luggage and it has a lot of baggage. You know, fuck it.
Something like
you
that.
guys, they love those jokes. Why not?
There is a weird
else is
throwaway in
terrible.
Cars 2 but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, basically everything about them is a car, but we can't see their insides. Everything is a car part, except they have eyelids in the windshield that come down as they like make facial expressions. Unclear what those are. And then they just have fucking human mouths.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on? It's not, and it's not the grill. They don't turn the grill of the car into a mouth. Some of the cars don't have grills, or they have a grill and the mouth is separate and below the grill. And they have human teeth and fucking massive tongues that are so disturbing. And like right out of the jump, you see the tongue when Lightning is trying to win the race at the end, and he sticks his tongue out like fucking 6 feet off the front of the car. It's like, what the fuck is going on with any of this? We have no idea what is on the inside of these cars. Like, there's one comment in the final race where the announcer says it's hotter than a black leather seat on a summer day. So you're like, do they have seats inside of them? I don't know.
They must know.
We really have no idea. These cars exist in a world without humans. So like, why do they even exist? What is the purpose of these cars? I don't know. Ryan, you've probably thought about this longer than I have. What do you think like these things are?
I think it does feel like the thought behind the movie is just, this is our world straight up, and cars are people. Right? That's basically it.
Too.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird implications of that you can start to think through, because it's in America. The race is in California. The flags are the same. Like, things fully match. there are locations that are made up, but conceptually it's like America and it's cars, but just what would be the implications if everyone was car? The weirdness is Stanley is shown, and they show the date that he's from like 1907, and he's like a Model T or Model A or whatever, right? He's this really old car.
Yeah.
And we see that old car models are older cars and newer
Right.
car models are newer cars. So seemingly they're aging as they, as we get
There's a
new
circle of
generations.
life.
They're new, yeah. But I have no idea what is before a Model T.
I know. Yeah. Like, how old can this civilization actually be? And there are things, especially in Cars 2, that make it look like this is a very ancient race of,
Right.
of
Yeah,
beings.
yeah, maybe. Yeah. So that's the strange. So then also they're clearly metal. There's a lot of things we see that verify that an exterior is metal. So they're either an exterior metal with like organic insides, or they're all metal and somehow they work, like Toy Story, right? The toys, as far as they just appear to be toys, right? They are plastic, they're toys, that's it. They just happen to be sentient. But it really opens up, like, is there an evolution before this of other, and we see that like planes and helicopters, so seemingly any vehicle, what's a vehicle question mark is separate, but seemingly any vehicle is like alive, and maybe they've had these branching evolutions into planes and helicopters and ships.
Did they evolve
right?
from like horse-drawn carriages? And were the carriages sentient at the time, or do you have to have a combustion engine in order to be a sentient being?
Yeah.
And then where it jumps is when we see bugs and birds that are also cars or planes. And I think in one of there's like an elephant in one of the shorts that's also a vehicle. And so, it seems like anything that would be alive.
And the tractors are cows.
Yeah, and tractors are cows.
Subspecies.
There seems to be some level of farming and for something.
Yes.
And for ethanol,
For ethanol,
maybe?
it's ethanol. It's
I
gotta
think
be
for
ethanol.
Corn,
ethanol.
the only crop that they grow. That's
Yeah.
kind of just America with humans. But
In the beginning of the Planes movie, they established that everyone now runs on like plant-based renewable like gas.
fuck?
They don't really try to address that well.
They
in
got
the Cars
Tommy
movie.
Chong's
Cars 2 movie's
alternative
weird.
fuel source.
That's it. Tommy Chong.
amazing.
It's George Carlin.
Oh,
in the
that's
first
George
one. Yeah.
Carlin?
And then he
He's-
passed
No
away. And they
way.
just
This
it's George
whole
Carlin.
time I thought it was Tommy Chong.
I did too, because Cheech is in it.
Yeah,
Cheech
So I
is
just
in there.
they
assumed.
tricked me.
Yeah, they used George Carlin really poorly.
Wow.
But then he passed away. So in the second and third movie, they replaced his voice actor.
With not Tommy Chong.
No,
Yeah,
definitely not
again,
Tommy
still
Chong.
not
I
Tommy
noticed
Chong.
it changed.
Yeah. But yeah, so then they established that they're not using gas, but we know from Cars 1 it's Dinoco. There's a picture of a dinosaur.
Yep.
Dinosaurs were a thing, and that were not cars.
And assumingly organic creatures
become
that
oil.
died and decomposed.
Right.
Yeah,
And the Dinoco CEO also has a longhorn bone attached to the front of his fucking
Right.
rod, implying that there is an animal somewhere out there that they
Somehow,
slaughtered
yeah.
and
there
put
are
up there.
real cows.
Yeah.
in
Or there
addition
were
to
real
tractor
cows. Yeah, at some
Yeah.
point. Ferrari's
Yeah.
logo is a horse. Like, we straight up
Yes.
see that. It is a horse.
Yep.
So there were horses and cows. like
Also,
actual horses and
they
cows
have
at some point.
Brands are the brands? Is it just like the house? They have like the name still. Like there was a king of Ferrari or like an Italian Ferrari
Yeah.
car that it was the first car to build other cars.
It appears
and
that
make the
there's
brand
families
Ferrari?
of cars, yeah, because we see several,
Yeah.
like the Ferraris are together, and then there's a mention in the second movie of like a family of gremlin cars, right? Like, yeah, there's some weird things about that. We also eventually see children and parents.
Yes.
Right, so we know that's another thing. Is it's still never clear. That I have no idea, because it's just like we
Where they
see
come
children
from.
car, but we don't understand where exactly they
No.
come from, how they're made. And
Do
there's
they
companies
molt?
that sell car parts. Like, that's a huge part of it. Is there are companies that sell car
Yep.
parts
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
stop selling car parts for certain cars, which
Also,
has
like-
horrible implications when you can't get your parts replaced.
What is Rust in the context of this world? Because Lightning McQueen is a hack like for the fucking Rusties, which is like preparation H and or some kind of leprosy treatment. I don't fucking
Skin
understand.
cream, I don't know.
I don't know what it is. But like it's to the point where characters will just fall apart because of Rust, which happens.
Is it
to
contagious?
Fred.
Is it sexually transmitted?
Do they have scientist cars that research Rust and how to defeat it? Like where did they get the
Yeah,
power
seemingly
to
it's
reverse
just
this?
straight up rust. Yeah, like
That's
it straight
just
up
it,
is
and,
rust,
like,
and they are metal on the outside. So
Fred the
oxidation
car
happens.
lost his fucking mouth, and he just had human ass teeth hanging out, and like nobody was like, "Oh my god, Fred, how can we help you?" They just let him sit there with his
Yeah.
jaw on the floor. It's really fucked up.
Stanley has a gold tooth. So there are dentists, like actual dentists for actual.
Wait, which one is
mouth.
Stanley?
Stanley is the statue
Radiator
that we
Springs
see
town
that start.
founder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Oh, the statue.
yeah. So we see that in the statue they represent him as having a gold tooth. Like, so then he must have had dentist's work done
They
because he
struck
lost a
gold
tooth
somewhere too.
Yeah. Well, we see that. I mean, they have metal, and like obviously, it just is humanity, and they reference things. I think several times they straight up reference World War II, so that like that happened.
Wait,
that
do
was
they?
a thing.
I don't
The-
remember a direct reference.
I think I feel like the Jeep says something about the Battle of the Bulge, like that he was a veteran.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
in the Planes movie, again, I'm going to pull in outside things.
I'm glad that you got the extra text.
Yeah, they show a clearly World War II plane with all the insignia and logo exactly pulled, and
Oh, wow,
claim
okay.
that he had 51 kills, which is
Wow,
weird in a kid's
the
movie.
Audie
to
Murphy
mention.
of fucking planes or something.
Yeah. So yeah, it just seems like they took everything of our world and just everyone is a car instead, and that's it. That's like as far as it went. It opens up way too many questions when they get out into the world in
Yeah.
Cars 2.
Well, they also
Cars 1
reference
stays mostly in
directly-
Radiator Springs, and you don't have to
Yeah.
worry
Right.
too much about it.
They reference Jimi Hendrix directly.
They do.
Yep.
He's just in
Yeah.
this fucking world somewhere, I guess.
And I would guess since we see so many other either kind of insert car like Bob Cutlass, right? That are the voice is the same.
Brent
There are-
Mustang Burger.
Yeah. There are then weirdly they do that, but then it's just Lewis Hamilton. Like they gave up in Cars 2 and just are like, yeah, he just is Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, I guess seemingly there was a Jimi Hendrix and he was a car. Probably some sort of 70s
Who could play
model
guitar?
psychedelic
Yeah.
car. Oh,
How?
They Cars 3, there's a band.
There is. There's a band in Cars 3, and they're only the like pit stop cars that have those little arms on them. I don't even really know what those are.
They only have the
Little
dexterity
forklifty
to do
things?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, forklifty things. Are those the only cars that can play instruments or like do manufacturing? Like,
There's like a caste system here.
how are they producing things in this society when none of them have hands?
It's weird to
don't
see
know.
like in the first, like right off the bat, there's a car holding a race flag, like holding a flag. It's kind of just on his
It's
tire.
like, yeah, attached to the tire.
Yeah, and sometimes we see them sort of pick something up, and it's all done kind of like to the side or weirdly, so you can't exactly work out like how the hell it works.
Yeah, they don't want to animate that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and then if they show cameras or something, they're like attached to the car, like suction cup to the side of the
bolted
car, or
to the
something.
wheels.
or are connected. But then we do see full disturbing dexterity from the like pit car forklift things, and so I guess that why they have instruments that are sized and built for humans. Like, what wouldn't they make their own?
They would have car culture specific things.
Instruments, yeah.
And it would it could sound the same. It's fine, but like you just do it at a car scale. and
But yeah,
fucking
you would make
whatever.
it for the appendages that you have and the way that you would use them, right? Like that's
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the weird implication is why everything seems to be still the way a human would need it, but there's no humans. And
Yeah.
it fully feels like they're just like there's a diegetic Kenny G song too. And I'm like, so there was a Kenny G and a Hendrix and like
How
right,
do you play the saxophone?
right, yeah.
Fingers, not just little arms. You need
Also,
fingers to do that.
they have like what the other thing that I asked Dixon about it too. I was like, okay, like, do they have the dexterity to one? If you're going to set up like a manufacturing line, you probably have to have the dexterity to do something by hand first or by wheel, I guess in this instance. If you're going to have a big culture where you can video everything and put it all on cameras everywhere, you got to shape some lenses and you have to craft them very specifically. And then you have to figure out your automation line to do that shit. And they like just have cameras all over the place, great angles, great quality footage, all that shit. And I was just like, but how? how do they touch these lenses and put them together and not fuck this shit up? And they like installed like Mac the truck that carries lightning inside of him, which I think is a sex thing.
It's weird.
He's hauling a trailer that has
true.
lightning inside of it.
That trailer is attached to his electrical system, i.e. probably his neural pathway, and he's definitely feeling McQueen inside him.
It's like one of those high-tech prosthetics that you can move with your mind.
Exactly, yeah.
He knocks on it somehow? Like, right?
Yeah, and then he has like he has a camera in front of his face to like show himself to McQueen, and McQueen, I don't think he can see McQueen back because McQueen like gets knocked out by the fucking in the middle of the night when he like opens the door and falls out of him. Mac like doesn't know anything is wrong and can't see inside of himself, but McQueen still gets to see him from the outside. What's that about?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Jesus. We didn't even talk about that. There's like the night gang, that street gang that has neon and shit. Is nitrous cocaine in this world?
Probably.
Because one of them is like
just
hot,
like performance enhancing.
is-
It's like performance enhancing drugs, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Snot Rod is like has been doing too much of it, and he's like fucking sneezing, and his fucking cartilage is all gone, and his car bones.
Yeah.
Shit.
There are multiple references that explain that they have lungs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In Cars 2, Michael Caine, spy MI6 car, holy shit, dives into the ocean and then pulls out a breathing device in order to breathe under the water. So these creatures are some form of, they have some sort of biological aspect to them. I was talking to a friend of mine about this last night, and he was proposing a Titan situation where the cars are offspring of human car intercourse that have evolved beyond either the humans or the cars, and are now just like the dominant species in the world. And maybe there are still some regular humans and regular cars around, but they're just not the most dominant members in society anymore.
I think that we got like a War of the Worlds or a Planet of the Apes situation on our hands where man, you know, what is it like? What's the Jeff Goldblum thing? God creates man, like man creates car destroys man, car destroys God, or whatever.
There are some
Like,
people that
just the pollution.
there are some people that theorize that there is a human inside all of the cars. Like it's more like a mech that a person is in, and so that's why there's like vestige of human stuff, and they're now fully like inside the car.
They're just
some
jacked
way.
into like the matrix of the cars now.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to come out. They can't, or else it'll let all their guts out or some shit if they open the door. Except for Mater.
But it
Mater's
doesn't
fine.
explain the like tongue and teeth.
Wait, so
No.
if Michael Caine car goes underwater, because it's been a while since I've seen Cars 2, but I remember that shit pretty vividly.
Dude,
He goes underwater and his interior cabin doesn't flood. That implies there is a membrane around him, some kind of epidermis that would keep water out, but he still needs to breathe.
they seem fully sealed. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, at some point, Richard Kind and somebody else are like driving through. It's that couple that's lost in Radiator Springs, driving through, and they talk to Lightning McQueen, and they lock their doors right before they leave. Why do they lock their doors? What is?
They at least
is
make
this
the
like a social
sound
cues
of locking the
thing?
door. Yeah, maybe it's just like a
I don't feel
sound
safe
that they
around you
make.
and I'm
yeah.
They
But
do
it does
for
seem
a
like they
bit?
lock themselves up. Yeah.
Fucking weird.
We're kind of getting to what I think is the core issue
What Dixon
here
loves the most about
with
this.
the Cars universe, and it's whether these things are born or manufactured. And I've written down some notes in favor of either. There's a lot more points for them being born. Okay, so
yes.
number one, the cars are horny.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Okay. Number two, there are child cars. There are some teenage girl cars that are huge fans of Lightning, and at the very end of Cars, there is a legitimate child car in the stands.
Yep.
There are brother cars. The Rusty's owners are brothers. One of them makes a comment that like, you know, you don't need, my brother has headlights, but he's lit all the time or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, that implies that they can get drunk and that there are families.
That's pretty great.
So
There's something with potentially liquor, and there's like champagne bottles in the second one too.
there's a bar. There's multiple bars in Cars 2.
Yeah.
They consume through both their human mouths and their gas tanks, which is just fucking wild.
Which is, I don't know. Yeah.
What are you
also,
doing?
okay, wait. Gas tank, private part or not private part? Because they unconsensually siphon gas from Lightning McQueen.
What-
I wrote down that
what does
feels
that
like
involve?
assault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of fucking assault. Oh, God.
Okay, so number 1, the cars are horny. Number 2, there are child cars. Number 3, there are brother cars. Number 4, they breathe air.
Yep.
Those are my 4 points in favor of the cars are born, not
I would say
manufactured.
Even more than brothers, there are mothers, distinctly mothers.
Yes. That was just in Cars 1. Yeah, but yeah, in Cars 2, there's a mother car. Yeah. So there's all these things that point to these things being born and there being families.
They have organs.
Okay, yeah. They're also clearly disexual, right? Like there's male and female cars, and we see a line to the female restroom at the stadium. Yes. So they have separated sexual restrooms, and whatever they do in a restroom, I don't. Question that's not answered
oil
anyway.
or fucking, I don't know.
Whatever it is, it has the same like implications for women at our restrooms too.
Oh,
It makes
yeah.
the
Also,
lines
wait,
long.
another example. They show their taint. They show their taint to other cars.
Yes.
It's happened.
The undercarriage of the car seems to be where the genitals are.
Yeah,
That's the 5th point in favor of them being born,
There you
is
go.
that McQueen is grossed out by seeing the cop car's undercarriage, and then he looks down at him and says, "Get a good peek, city boy," as if he's like bragging about his dick size or something.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of points for them being born. For them being manufactured, I only have 2. One is that there are car makes and models named, such as Porsche, Jaguar, Cadillac, BMW, Ferrari, and Corvette are all named in the first Cars movie. And then number 2, when Mac finds McQueen in Radiator Springs, he says, "Thank the manufacturer, you're alive," which opens up an entire question about car religions, which we're going to get real deep into.
Yeah, that's important.
But so it's either is possible, I guess, but the evidence seems to be pointing toward the fact that these things are born. It's possible that there could be some that are born and some that are manufactured, and there'd be some sort of weird class system between like real born cars or manufactured cars.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking wild to me. If they're born, what the fuck are the genitals? What's going on? Mater farts in the second one out of his exhaust pipe.
Yep.
It's seemingly that's the anus, but I don't know what else would be the genitals. And so like maybe we're dealing with the cloaca situation where all of the sex and digestive organs are in the gas tank, the gas pipe, the exhaust pipe.
Tailpipe, yeah.
But in that case, why is the undercarriage of the car the thing that is disgusting people or disgusting cars? The exhaust pipe is visible at all times and people aren't grossed out that it's just hanging out there.
Can I just make a request that for the rest of this episode, Dixon, you do an Alex Jones impersonation when you ask any of your questions? Where is the car taint? I need to know.
The manufacturer one, I could slightly hand wave that one as just like, when someone says
It's an expression.
God's like a maker, that it's just an expression that they use, but not, And there are car parts that get sold and
That's like a
replaced
medical
and
thing.
fixed.
That's like organ donors probably. Or
So it's I was like, I don't. Manufacturing could just be a general like that's what they say, and they say like making or manufacturing like because they're machinery. I don't. What are the implications of there being ice cream?
So
cows.
in Cars 2, it opens on Carmichael Caine on a fishing boat in the ocean. And he's approached by a big ocean liner and he's like, "What are you doing out here?" And he's like, "I'm crabbing. What does it look like?" I'm like, Why the fuck do they need crabs? What the hell's going on?
Yep. They mentioned crabs in the third one too. So crabs are definitely a thing.
They drive over them on the beach. Yeah. But like, why do they need to catch them? And then later Mater is at a sushi buffet. So apparently cars just eat fish. Like that's just a thing. And he thinks the wasabi is pistachio ice cream and eats a shitload of it and has predictable consequences from that. But like, why does he know what pistachio ice cream is? Why are they eating real food? What the fuck is going on? There are bars that seem to be stocked with like various oils and gasolines behind them. But they do appear to be things that cars would like have inside them, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
And those they drink through their mouth. So
They
it
do,
seems
not
like
through their gas tanks.
there's some sort of like energy specifically from gas into the gas tank.
Yep.
Axelrod supposedly makes himself electric, but that's not true.
That's
but
bullshit. Yeah.
Seemingly, you can also be an electric car or something
Which
else.
means that they have cobalt mines and that there are probably
Right, yeah,
some
so
of the
cobalt,
resources
lithium,
that
and
are exported. Yeah, they have to get-
So yeah, it seems like there's a separation between your energy that you get from gas specifically and just eating and drinking through your mouth for potentially for pleasure, and maybe for energy, but probably not. And it's not clear if those crabs are like car crabs or literal crabs.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
But then they like show in Cars 1, Flo has a diner, and the diner's only like
It's just
menu
gas
item. It's
station.
just gas.
That's
it's
it.
just gas.
Yeah, that
And they're
makes
like,
sense
"Why
that
don't
the
you stop
diner is a
in
gas
for-
station.
For a drink, stop in for a drink, Richard Kind car, and have a gas. But does that mean they're just going to jack that gas right into him and like he's not going to
Yeah.
put it through his mouth? His weird
Yeah.
fucking
They
mouth?
gas up at the
We see 'em
diner
yep.
through the gas tank.
Yep,
Yeah.
we see that. Yeah, we see him gas up
just-
on the pit stop. So yeah, seemingly like drink could be either like an adult drink or just a regular drink, and I guess to them that's either gas
maybe at this
or,
point it's like a hedonistic thing where like their tongue provides some extra experience for them that they just love. Their weird fucking human
Yeah.
mouth that they mutated over time.
Yeah.
And
Massive ass tongue. The taste buds are just so intense.
the rich people all the rich cars love it. They get to eat all the stuff through the front of their mouth. They don't need to have dirty gas put into them. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's one question. We were just okay. We didn't settle any debate on whether they were born or built. But what do we?
I think they're born.
You think they're born?
They're child cars.
yeah.
Like I think the cars are fucking. They're making baby cars. I don't know where the cars are coming out of the mother, where the holes are, what's going on there. But I think like they're not manufacturing child cars.
So if they're
that are
born-
separate that don't grow, right? I don't know.
If they're born, and also because they have irises, that implies that there's a genetic structure to these cars.
Yeah.
yeah, and Francesco's mother is also a race car because that's the other question.
correct.
This is
Yes.
what Ella brought up. She was like, was he born a race car and has to be a race car, or is he choosing to race? Like, are you locked
Well,
in as a race car, or obviously like
depends.
or a helicopter or a truck or whatever?
Yeah, I guess you get disassembled and reassembled into whatever you might want, but we never see that in any of these. If that is a possibility, then I guess they have a transition surgery. You can become a car.
Are you even yourself
Helicopter?
at that point? Like at what
Yeah, right,
point
when does
are you
it-
just a different creature?
Shit.
I don't
of
know.
Theseus, yeah.
I have no clue what this is. Also, like Doc hates Lightning McQueen because he's a race car, and I know that it's like built into the story that like Doc used to be a race car too, but like that's like the literal definition of racist, right?
If
like,
if
just
they're
hating-
born race cars, yes. If
Yeah,
they're
okay.
choosing to be a race car, no. That's just like, I don't like
okay.
mimes, right? They're not
Yeah,
born
yeah.
a mime, but in their world,
That's
are
true.
they born a race car? That's the
There's
question.
a mime car in
Yeah.
Cars
There is a
2.
mime car,
There's
yes.
A mime car.
So
Cars 2
he's
is
either
fucking
racist or he's
unhinged.
just prejudiced against race cars.
But we do have proof of racism in Cars 3.
Oh,
Because they go back and they meet the other cars that used to race with Doc Hudson, and the female car explains that she wasn't allowed to race initially, and she had to steal a
Sexism.
number and
Sexism.
sneak into a race.
Sexism.
And then the car next to her says, the black car next to her says, they didn't want us to race. We had to fight our way in.
what?
And he's not a woman, it's a man, clearly. Yes.
Oh my God! What the fuck? That's wow.
Which then is strange
that
because you
means-
could paint yourself whatever color you want. So it's
Yeah,
not
there's a paint
the color
shop
of
in
the
Cars.
car.
You just
Yeah.
Oh
There's
my
something
God.
about that car
Wait, no.
intrinsically that they're racist about.
they have like I mean, you can put stickers, but I guess that means they have some kind of genetic pigmentation associated with them. Does this also
Maybe?
confirm? Is it too far to say that there's car phrenology in this world?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I feel like
guess.
there's a lot of
the
implications
shape
on
of your
everything.
engine
Yeah.
block
Yeah,
determines
exactly.
your intelligence. Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, Doc. Doc was a doctor supposedly, and who knows what prejudice he employed.
and that does open up. He could be a race car and then become a doctor. So you're not necessarily like forced into things because there are options that are not vehicle specific, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That you could get a job.
Well, you have to. There have to be like scientist cars somewhere figuring out all of the shit that the rest of the car world needs. Otherwise, you're just going to have chaos and people are just going to be driving around without gas.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. Also, at one point, George Carlin Carr, that I thought was Tommy Chong, says that there's a conspiracy to cover up his alternative fuel source, which to me implies political violence and that big oil is still alive and well. That coupled
it is,
with
totally.
the fact that there's like, Dynaco and a military industrial complex with fighter jets that have sunglasses on. There's a whole lot
which
here.
have missiles.
And
there's like
again,
destroyers in the second one, so there's fully wars and warships and warplanes.
Yeah, like right before this episode, I told Ryan that I saw a documentary on YouTube. I didn't get to watch it yet, but it did Saddam Hussein do 7-Eleven? And, I just, at this point, I'm willing to believe anything about the Cars universe.
I mean, there's definitely a Cars 911 because there's Cars TSA and Cars 2. And they have to take their wheels off to go through the TSA check. It's like, are they looking for rubber? Is that what they're flagging? The whole car is made of fucking metal. Like,
oh my God.
Mater mentions his hook when he gets pulled aside. He's like, oh, I know I have my hook or whatever, which I think is opposable in some way.
I think
it has
so.
to be, because the way he hooks on and off of things, he has to have control over that.
It's like a scorpion tail.
Yeah. It's definitely a part of
there.
him, which is strange.
Yeah, so we have a World War II. We have a 9/11 event. The fact that the Sergeant Jeep and George Carlin van argue about Hendrix and the classics implies that there was probably a sexual revolution, 60s, 70s era.
Anti-war
Vietnam, anti-war movement thing going on, which potentially points to a JF car that had its top down, maybe.
Yeah.
Driving through Dallas.
Oh my God.
I mean, they have guns. Dude, this okay.
Yeah.
So, our slight aside on the second Cars movie, I counted over 35 deaths on screen in that movie. This is the thing that bothers me the most about. And that movie is G. What's weird to me is Planes is PG, but Cars 2 is rated G. And Mater has like Gatling guns built into him that he shoots, and there are bullets falling everywhere. And straight up, they torture and explode a spy car.
Is that the Bruce Campbell spy car?
Yeah, they torture him, right?
Jesus.
They're like slowly turning up the temp on him until his engine block explodes and kills him. And they say, let's kill. They literally are like, we need to kill Lightning McQueen. That's like the last act of that movie. There's so many like explosions that happen on that oil rig at the beginning. The first time I watched that, I legit was sitting there like with my mouth open, right? Like they throw a car over the edge of the rig and he hits that water and then just his tires come up. And then to like fake being dead, Finn McMissile lets out tires out the back of his trunk to seem dead.
Fucking, oh my God.
It's just
insane.
Finn McMissile. What a name.
That's the Michael Caine spy car.
Yes.
Finn
yes.
McMissile.
God.
So Ryan, do you think these things are born or manufactured?
I think they have to be born. I think we have way too many things at point. I think there is some level of like, it's possible that they are like metal exterior and they can have those parts exchanged. Like they have an engine, like a straight up engine. And I guess the engine is just driving around some level of like organic. And maybe maybe they are born, right? Yeah. And it's kind of like a hermit crab. It's all, fleshy exterior. And then you get your first like body job to cover you.
Cars.
Yeah. Yes.
God.
And then as you grow up, you need new, like larger parts as you grow.
Larger shell.
Yeah.
That's okay.
why they have
Never
car parts.
Thought of that.
What's weird to me is why
unspoken
car
lore,
parts would be like specific to a family. Because when
Right.
they see the inside of what turns out to be Axelrod in the second movie, and Mater is like talks about the engine, and they're like, oh yeah, there were 58,000 cars with that engine model.
That implies that they were manufactured. If they can track
what does
all
that mean?
Yeah.
Or at least those parts are manufactured, right? It could be a little bit
Definitely
of both.
the
Like
parts
they're
are.
born and there are manufactured parts.
They have to make one to keep you alive past a certain age, maybe. I don't know.
That's the advancing car
that's what's
science.
weird.
Yeah.
is
that's
is
what's
building. It's like trying to create organs naturally in the lab that like scientists do now.
That's what they're
they figure out how to build car parts to
try
to live forever
out of a pig car heart.
Yes.
Yes.
You'd be alive.
Yeah, I do find
These
it strange,
engines are all
like
pulled from tractors.
yeah, that there is that
the science
implication
experiments conducted on tractors.
yeah,
All
right
of
there.
the animal
Well,
parts.
those tractors they don't talk. They just
They
seem
move.
like
No.
livestock. They act
They
just like
shit themselves
livestock.
when they get scared and they tip over, and like the combine is fucking brainless
Combine's-
and
it's
like
crazy. Yeah, I don't
angry all the time. It just also it has like the bull ring on its front, and I was like, that doesn't serve any practical purpose other than to tell you it's a bull. But
Do you think the tractors are like wild animals that just like live out in the fields?
Oh, yeah.
Or are they
I think they
owned
must have been.
by more intellectual cars that are like the human equivalent versus the livestock equivalent?
They were fenced in, so
Yeah. So
something that did it.
in theory, somebody
which-
owns that land and owns those tractors.
Okay, wait, we didn't even
Probably
talk
a
about
car,
we
not a
didn't-
human.
We didn't talk about Bessie. Okay,
no,
we need
that's
to talk about
opens up-
Bessie.
Yeah, that's a
everybody.
question. Yes.
Bessie opens so many other questions. It is the age-old Disney thing of why the fuck is Pluto a dog, but Goofy is also a dog. Just how this works, okay? Bessie, for anybody out there who hasn't seen Cars in a while and is never fucking gonna watch it, but is loving this conversation, Bessie is a gigantic machine that pours pavement all over. It's pouring asphalt.
Yeah, it's like a road grader.
Yeah, and Bessie is not sentient. It just has the name Bessie, and it needs to be hooked up to a sentient car and
It has
pulled.
to be towed. It can't
Yeah.
power itself, so therefore it's not a living thing.
But it is always gurgling and constantly generating any kind of asphalt for you to do whatever with.
Yeah.
Which also implies that the cars themselves have figured out how to like mix those things together and make that asphalt road and all that shit. But yeah, like they introduce Bessie and they're like, you're going to love Bessie. And McQueen's like, who's Bessie? What's going on? Ka-chow. And then like they fucking just hook him up and he's just there with this fucking giant thing. So like, what is sentient in this world and what is not? If we've seen tractors and a combine that are animals, and then we've seen Bessie that is nothing, like a brainless fucking machine.
Is a
that does
machine.
this.
Yeah.
How do you do? What else is there? And then we've also seen bugs that are cars and fucking birds that are cars, and just planes or whatever. And like, I don't know. Where are the rules?
There are no rules. It's just like
It's a
like the
free-for-all.
same company that made Toy Story that has all sorts of rules that make perfect sense just decided to just throw all the rules out the window
Fuck
with
it.
this one. Just be like, oh, it'd be funny if we did this.
Yeah.
And just like not think about
Wouldn't it be great
anything with
if-
how this all builds together in a cohesive universe. It's just complete horseshit.
Wouldn't it be amazing if there was a Monument Valley, but we called it Ornament Valley, and it just happened to all look like cars that were eroded that way?
Oh my
That
God.
doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's fun for the gag. Sure.
Well, I mean, that's
Oh, God.
it's possible. It's just like, you know, how you see a human face in something.
Oh, you think about that pattern, and
Yeah, they just think
through
that
the
it-
lens of the camera
Yeah.
in the movie, we're seeing the car. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I could give that like a bit of a pass.
I'll give you that. There are no motorcycles in this movie, by the way, or this franchise.
Not in
Dixon,
any
you
of
said
the Cars
any of
movies.
them?
Yeah, that's
There are
true.
no
But
motorcycles.
if there
Scooters or
were,
anything.
I'd like to think that they exist in they're like deer and or gazelle. That's probably
Oh,
what they're
yeah,
most
yeah.
likely like.
That's good. I
Can
like
see
that.
that.
Yeah, I like that.
See, there you go.
Yeah,
So they would be out in the forest.
Do they have a car zoo where there are the other animals?
Oh, wow.
There is like a car elephant. Yeah, there is like a car elephant in one of the shorts. So
then we're
there
getting
is sort of
closer
like
here.
yeah, that there are other, and that's where it's strange that like, is it that it's vehicles, and then since Bessie's not a vehicle, it's a machine because you don't
Yeah.
ride in Bessie. If someone were to
But-
ride in Bessie,
Yeah.
then she would be alive, I guess. But then you
Okay.
have that weirdness of like, but then other organic things are like anything organic becomes a vehicle.
Yeah, those bugs. Those
Right.
bugs and whatever. It's
So
for
everything
fun,
that's organic
but
becomes a
yeah.
vehicle, but they can also just make machinery that has to be machinery with machinery inside. And they have to have factories manufacturing car parts as well as all just the regular, like making cameras and whatever else. And it has to be industrial. There's way too
Yeah.
much. Like this is way too advanced of a society to not have had an industrial
We haven't
revolution
even
and
talked
making all
about-
these things.
The small town economy and
Yeah, I don't have
how that's
they're
fueled.
doing anything out there.
I don't want to derail all of these. Dixon, I know you had a plan of some sort.
I knew that it was just going to be random chaos. But
This is how it goes.
We can pick
I'm
at
the-
any
the-
thread and start like really questioning all kinds of different
Jesus.
things.
Throw a rock in any direction.
Yes.
I mean, the small town economy, like the whole concept of cars is like he gets stuck in this little town, Radiator Springs, and it's this, hollowed out middle America. Actually, the only kind of interesting thing that Cars tries to do is to say that, like, hey, small town America has been decimated, and it would be great if we could bring some life back into it, and people could appreciate the journey, not just think about going from one place to the next as fast as possible, right? And this town became nothing because they built a highway right next to Route 66 to just like shave 10 minutes off of the drive, and people miss all the beautiful scenery, and this little town has become a husk of its former self. And that's an interesting idea to build on.
Yeah.
But then it's just in the middle of all this bullshit. It's not even in the middle. It's like off on the side of all this bullshit. It's impossible to really like gain anything from that.
Well, that's only like 5 minutes of the movie that they even fucking really
right.
talk
It's
about
like
that.
hardly touched on, but that's kind of this central plot point of the movie.
That's what turns
but they act like
McQueen, right, from being a jerk into like he actually starts to
Right.
appreciate it, and
But they have to, like, our economy is in the shitter. The town's gonna go out of business, basically. Like, if we don't get customers driving by, we can't sell them tires or paint jobs or gasoline or military surplus.
Yeah.
And then McQueen comes in and, learns to appreciate the little people and buys stuff from everybody in town. And like, oh my God, you saved us. Now it can be a town again. And then he, makes his racing headquarters there. So it becomes a destination spot and they revitalize whatever. But like, for what end? Like, what is the currency in this economy? Why do they need money? Like, I guess they need money for gasoline, but like the economy would have to be driven on gasoline, metal, and rubber.
It's kind of crazy
And
because
that's kind of it, I would think. Maybe electronic things that would go into the cars, but like I don't think the cars really care if their like radio works. I don't know.
okay, but like prior to
they have
McQueen even
radios.
showing up in this town. Oh yeah, they do have.
they have radios
They
and
listen to this.
televisions, and so they definitely have
yeah.
electronics outside of
Prior to McQueen showing up and fucking up everything in this town, which he then promptly, is sentenced to fix and do all of that. It's a socialist paradise, and they're living with each other really well. And they're like, they have alternative fuel, and like, sure, the fucking army cars, like, there's no surplus, but they have like gas and whatever the fuck else.
They have everything they need to survive.
Yeah, and they've somehow managed to continue to do it. And like, even if Flo's Diner went out of business because they don't have fucking Dynaco fuel, whatever George Carlin's doing is he's worked it out. He's figured out the alternative
it must
fuel
be
source.
his farm, or he works with a
it
farmer.
Got to be where the tractor, the
could
fucking
be.
it's all organic and stuff. That's the thing is like they had everything, and then for some reason when McQueen shows up, they're like, we really miss having a bunch of annoying fucking tourists coming through.
Yeah.
and like picking everything apart in a consumerist way.
Who's going to stay in my traffic cone motel? God damn it.
Yeah, that traffic cone motel seems like a nightmare too. I guess just like existentially as a car, you don't need a whole lot to your, like, you don't need a big room or anything. You just go into a dark
garage.
room and it closes. Are you like, is it like a fucking,
there's a garage.
when you're like a bird where you put like a
Yeah.
sheet over you and then you're like, all right, I'm sleeping now. Like, this is just,
pretty
there's
much.
no stimuli anymore.
But
But they have
who's
to
putting
fuck,
like the
Ryan.
tiny?
The cars fuck. We've established this. How do
Yeah.
they fit in the cone?
It's a 2-car garage.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Do they
how
have a
they
little
get-
ramp on the back?
How they get little tiny like photos and a alarm clock and shit inside? Like I guess the little.
Again, what's the
forklift cars
dexterity of their
that-
shit?
yeah, it's
like
strange.
The Guido or whatever his name is. I don't know. What is his name? Luigi?
Luigi and Guido are the
Luigi
two
and
Italian
Guido?
cars.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
They
Great
mention
work,
money.
everybody.
They do mention money, and they do mention specifically dollars because Mater.
Yes. Mater says
that-
that McQueen owes him $32,000 in legal fees.
And
Right.
then he laughs about it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's definitely money, which makes sense for like a good exchange system. And again, if
Sure.
it just is like our world, but it just got swapped out, it never shows credit cards or cash, but there must be something somehow that they can exchange
Yeah.
this
Some
stuff.
way. Yeah. I just none of it makes any sense. And like they sell a bunch of I don't know, they have all the merchandise too. There's a whole sequence at the beginning where they have the fucking guy, the car, which is wait, did I see stairs? Were there stairs in this fucking movie? Am I thinking about it right?
I don't think
in the
so.
stadium.
There's
do
stadium
that?
You have to go
seating.
up the stadium. It's not
But
stairs.
do they have ramps, or is it like
It's
because-
ramps,
It's
but
just
then in
ramps.
the seats are structured in a stair.
Yeah,
format,
that's
so you
the
have
weird
your
part
own,
because
like,
then
seat.
there's that fucking vendor who's like, get your Lightning McQueen fucking hats here, and he's like selling all of the shit, walking down the ramp stair thing, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why do the cars need this shit? Like, it would be better if he was like, get a bumper sticker or like a radio antenna or whatever. But
Yeah.
he has like hats and shit for them.
like human-shaped hats.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we
don't
see
understand.
we see hats. There's cars that are wearing glasses in Cars 2,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know.
Oh,
what
yeah,
that
there's a
means.
monocle. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a car in the opening scene of the first Cars. It's like an RV in the grass of the racetrack stadium that is wearing like a beer helmet.
Yes.
But it's two massive kegs full of gasoline and two straws that go into his goddamn mouth instead of his gas tank.
He's lit. He's just completely lit.
Yeah.
And then you said at the end, you texted me and you were like, there's a fucking RV in a kiddie pool with
Yep.
cans around it.
Yes, in a kiddie pool with like little sized beer cans just
Yes,
scattered
yeah.
all around it.
Fuel injector cans.
Yeah. How do they open those cans?
What the fuck is this? Oh my God. I would love to, there's so many things in this like franchise. I would love to see like a car try to open a can with its tires. That's gotta be funny. There's a car mafia. There's gotta be, if there's a car compactor,
They mention
in
a
this,
car
there's gotta be
mafia.
car mafia. Yeah. Car
Yeah.
mafia has
and we
to
see
be here.
compacted. They kill a spy by compacting.
They
him.
have so many
Yep.
fucking. They gotta have territories, man. Like, there's just gotta be something here. Like, God, yeah. It's just, man. I don't even fucking know. Dixon, what else? What else is there? Because I feel like Cars 1 is, it opens the door to this world.
We've got to talk about the car religion.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I feel like this could go for a long time. In Cars, the only reference is that statement, like, thank the manufacturer, you're alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that opens all kinds of questions about what this society is, what the religions are, if there are any. And then in Cars 2, they go to France for a bit, and there is like a big old Catholic church there. Then they go to the race in Italy, and in the stands, first before that, Mater says, is the Pope Mobile Catholic?
Right.
Then they go to Italy, and they see in the stands, there is a Pope car inside a Pope mobile. Just the most batshit thing I have ever seen. It's the only
Amazing.
car,
Car within a
in
car.
all of the three movies that you see, like, I mean, I don't know
Mac,
if
the
it's
truck
really the
doesn't count.
insides, but it's on its like truck bed and it has the glass around it.
Yep.
And that just opens up so many questions. Like, okay, you can get inside of these things, at least in certain cars. There's a Pope car. That means there's car Christianity. That means there's car Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus in our world existed well before the invention of the combustion engine.
Yeah.
Does that mean car Jesus was a wagon with wheels?
Oh,
Dude,
man, yeah.
the Roman cars, they put nails through his fucking tires.
Yes.
Just right
He wouldn't
through.
have had tires. He didn't have tires.
I don't know. Whatever his tires were at the time, they put nails in them.
Like equivalent, wagon wheel type.
Yeah, the Passion of the Chrysler, buddy. That's just what it was. That's just how it went.
With like it was like
Jesus was a wood paneled PT Cruiser.
yeah, or it's like Caesar was like a chariot.
Oh god,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally what it was. Oh man, all the chariots descended upon.
And that's where the horses came into play, I guess. And they were horseless carriages at the time, or carriages with horses. Like, geez, and maybe it's just a leftover human religion that they have adopted. If this is a world where these creatures have evolved from human car intercourse, and it's just kind of left over
Yeah.
from human religion. But I'd like to imagine that there's a car equivalent for everything in our society that they reference in the movie.
So if they have
Yeah.
Pope car, then they
Yeah.
probably have the other religions, right? I'm guessing they would have like a Hindu and a.
There was a Martin
Buddhist.
Luther
Maybe.
car that broke off.
Yeah, Martin Luther car. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would have Impala and the other whatever Islam. There you go. Something. Yeah, why not?
But we know there was a 9/11, so
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's also
Good point,
holy
good point.
shit. Oh my god.
So there is religion motivated violence in this world.
And because there's big oil, there's also wars that are definitely happening to seize oil from different countries. That's also a thing that's on the table. If cars can be carried in helicopters, then surely a plane could carry several cars that would drop out of it.
Yep.
You just have so many evolving details from everything that this fucking Cars franchise does.
And I would imagine there is a religion of, if these cars are all born and grown, then there probably is a religion of people who have invented some sort of manufacturer god and believe that in some sort of like, and maybe that's just car Christianity, I don't know, but like maybe they're like intelligently designed in, car heaven or whatever, and then, put down. So we're like, they're not actually manufactured, but they are designed before they are born and put into the world. And I don't fucking know, man.
Now, one thing that I don't know that we've talked about here is they have TV, they have video. They have a Pope.
They have Jay Leno.
They have Jay Leno. Late night. They have late night, which late night imply also them having late night implies that they probably have cue cards. They're able to write words on things. I don't think that
Mater writes a handwritten letter to McQueen in Cars 2.
I was just gonna ask about that because I couldn't remember if they had written word and if they had printing presses.
He doesn't have hands. How does he write a letter?
We see English. We see Japanese. Like total 100%. Yes, written.
It's insane. That's insane to me. But do we actually see books, or is it all just televised and like?
No, there are no books that
I don't think we see a book. Yeah, no, I don't think we see a book.
See,
and weirdly, like in order to
line.
not deal with like having a phone up next to a car, everything is video calls.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
Yeah, I guess in the third movie, I think she just gets like a call. Like I guess you can. They eventually just have like. Yeah, Ella was like, "Do they have cell phones?"
Yeah, so they have a cell tower,
like
which means
in?
they have satellites. They were able to launch things, which means are the rockets sentient as well? Because if you can fly a spaceship, that must be the loneliest fucking species of this world because they're just out in space.
Well, there would be
they're gonna fucking
shuttle.
blow up.
Yeah, there would be a space shuttle with cars in it, like the planes.
That's insane. Oh my
and there
god!
Was a
Could you
moon
imagine
landing.
the cars doing the fucking moonwalk out in space, and they're trying to use their fucking fat ass tires to fix
100%. Buzz Aldrin was like the moon vehicle, right? Like which they don't show that, but that would be the joke. So we all know that's
exactly
true.
who it would be.
It would be a lunar lander. 100. Yeah,
he would be. No, he wouldn't be Buzz Aldrin. He'd be Buzz All Terrain.
Yeah.
You know exactly what that
they
is.
would make a Buzz Lightyear joke in there somewhere because they reference Toy Story so many fucking times.
How
in
fast?
These movies.
Wow! How fast can you go, Buzz? Light years.
Yeah. Their car, the tires are light years instead of good years.
They show at the end of the first movie. They have the clip. There's a blimp,
the whales of the sky.
That's a lonely existence to just be a blimp.
That shit
fully.
sucks. Oh my god, dude, the Hindenburg. The agony of that event.
The only thing blimps exist to do is to film Cars Golf, which would exist if they've gone to the moon.
Okay,
God,
all right, that opens up a question that I have. The biggest sport, is racing. It appears,
which is essentially track.
There's a bunch of racers,
right?
Yes.
It's just like a track or a marathon, right? Or it's just a race. They mentioned that it's a 200,000 car stadium, which is nuts.
It's so fucking big. That'd be like the size of a city.
But it's nuts. Even a 200,000 person stadium would be insane.
Yeah,
bigger than anything humanity has ever built. 200,000 people.
Ella threw out, we don't actually know the size of the cars. She was like, maybe they're human-sized cars.
See, I did that too. I told Dixon that. I was like, we don't know the size, but I'm pretty sure you could take the scale compared to the Ornament Valley and like be like, maybe, it's probably this big.
Maybe. It's hard to say. I will say that's an interesting, it's not clear because I don't know there's anything we can compare because it's like they go by an Eiffel Tower, but it's a car's Eiffel Tower. So I don't,
no,
everything
no.
is.
Ryan, you could do it because the bugs are the same size as regular bugs.
No, if the cars are smaller, the
We
bugs
have no
are smaller.
scale.
We don't know. We have no scale.
I'm telling you, within that view, there are multiple scales that we could use to determine that gas pumps are supposedly gas pump size. We'll compare the bugs.
But this is a whole different world. We don't know how big the
know
gas
that.
pumps are. These are different creatures, a weird species.
Yeah, I don't know what we would have.
Look, man,
reference.
if California is California, something has to be constant. God damn it!
How fucking big is car Tokyo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So many cars have to fit into that space.
Yeah,
Dude, man,
they
Japan's
mentioned
even more
miles per hour,
overpopulated.
they mention miles per hour, but they never give us like a time they never give us something that gives us a frame to be like, oh, they went 60 miles and that would help, right? Yeah, but
Right.
anyway, why would they not have made football and soccer and baseball that would be more entertaining? Because honestly, like NASCAR is not as popular as those other sports, nor is just watching people fucking run a marathon, right? So what?
Yeah.
So it would have.
that's what Demolition
where's
Derby's
that?
for.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
I guess the
Demolition Derby
Demolition
is.
Derby.
And then they'll do like car soccer later, that's what they evolve and they'll figure out how to make a ball or whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah.
Demolition Derby in
exist.
Cars 3 is basically like a gladiator fights. Like,
I was
what
wondering
the
about
fuck?
this.
Like, so fucked up that they would have that
like
in their society.
MMA,
where they
I
cheer
guess.
on the destruction of their own species.
Oh, please, we have boxing.
Yeah, it's like MMA.
Oh, no, that's also very fucked up.
Yeah.
But like
The octagon.
There's a school bus with a chainsaw stop sign that is like cutting cars up in the Demolition Derby. Like,
What?
this is well beyond
What?
boxing or football or any of the
And they made
problematic
such a big
sports that
deal
we
about
have.
Doc fucking crashing in Cars 1, and then they were like, yeah, fuck it, we just do it for fun.
Dude,
all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the school bus, but the crashing,
The
that
school bus.
there's a school bus
Why?
and a taxi. There's a taxi in that Demolition Derby too.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that. Oh my god.
But no one can get inside them
No.
at the scale that they're at, so I don't understand what they are.
Doesn't.
Unless
The
the
school bus
buses
might
are
be
like
able to
teachers.
fit child cars inside it.
See,
That
this
could
is
be
like
a
the
joke
thing
that
of,
like a teacher was a school bus. That could be the
Yeah.
joke.
Maybe, but that school bus is really big, and maybe they could fit like elementary school cars inside of it. The taxi is just bad shit.
It's
Okay,
bad.
they
That
become
makes
like
no sense.
a facsimile thing here. Yeah, the taxi doesn't make any sense, but like the school bus is a teacher, and like an ambulance is a medic, and a fire truck is a firefighter, and well, the fire truck does. I don't know. The
I mean,
fire truck is
it's a
kind
fire
of different.
truck. Like, yeah, those
Yeah,
things
it's
are
just-
actually straightforward.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Taxi, no, none of that. I don't
Yeah, I don't know
understand
what
who you're
it's-
giving rides to unless you're like a guide, and even then, you'd be a travel agent, and that doesn't make any sense for a taxi.
Right.
And they show a
yeah.
delivery truck in planes, so there are just like delivery trucks. Okay, so cars crashing into each other. Doc's crash is horrible and like career ending, more or less. And seemingly that could happen. There are mentions of like having to change out car parts and car parts not being made anymore, so that you do
Yeah.
eventually like run out.
Phase out.
The Cars 3 deals with like, again, it's interesting how insane and stupid Cars 2 is. That Cars 3 goes back to like a grounded story of things that people actually
Right.
go through.
Yeah.
But the whole plot is that now rookies are coming up that are better cars that train better and have better engines, and Lightning is at the end of his career. He takes a horrible spill at the end of the season, which Ella and I were both shocked by, because I'm like, it's the equivalent of like at the beginning of your movie, you watch the main character fall down the stairs and break every limb and a finger goes fucking flying by or something.
Yeah.
Right? Like we see cars like leaking out fluids, I guess, which is not that bad to them. It's not blood exactly, but like we see car parts and broken off parts and things like that, which I guess they're not as bothered by, because tires come on and off and hoods come on and
Yeah.
off, I guess, and are replaceable. But it is still
So
like the
desensitized.
implication to a child watching them.
Yeah.
Right? Of these are literal things literally like crashing into each other or going through what was like the Gran Turismo wreck, where the car comes up off the thing and flips 120 times and everyone's like shocked. So it's a bad thing. Like, it's fucked up. That was so crazy to me to just have a car crash. Like that's car pileups and car crash in that first movie, much less the Demolition Derby, and just play it off for like laughs. Like,
Yeah.
right? He's like
And,
going through it like it's a war zone of like wrecked cars, like crying and missing limbs.
It's like Saving Private Ryan opening scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like if there was one like trying to put like gears back
Sparks
in,
back
himself,
in. Oh.
like spark plugs back in, like to himself.
Oh, that would have been great.
Oh my God.
What would a career-ending wreck even be? Because in theory, if you have enough
crack your
money,
engine block.
you could just fix any problem, right? Like, I guess maybe if you're totaled and it's just more expensive to fix you than it is to get a replacement car.
Well, they have the American healthcare system, so
It's unfortunate. Yeah, that carried over too.
yeah, I guess if you like your engine block, cracks or something like that. So the planes, the planes movie adds more that opens up that question that's problematic because that plane, like, he's a crop duster that wants to become a racer. And so, there's a little bit of that, like he was born a crop duster and he wants to race and he gets through the race or whatever, but he pushes his engine way too high in order to be able to race, and it ends up beginning to damage him. And so there's a sequel movie where he becomes a firefighting plane, and I guess you can just make
it's
literal
called
job
Planes
changes.
Firefighters or something.
Yeah, Fire
It's
and
a
Rescue,
Weird
yeah.
ass title. Yeah.
They explain at the beginning of that he's too damaged from racing that he can't. He's like Homer Simpson. He can't take another cannonball hit. and they don't make his engine anymore. So if he were to get damaged, they can't fix it because his parts are gone. Yeah. At the end of the movie, they come up with. Rusty's
Who is not
makes
making
stuff.
these engines anymore?
So in the third movie, there's like Nathan Fillion plays a CEO that buys out Rusty's, and he makes mud flaps originally. Like he started as a mud flap guy. I do like that there's a Callahan Auto Part joke a couple of times. Tommy Boy references. He makes mud flaps and then he makes other car parts. So there must be companies that do that. And I don't like Cars 3 has like a CEO evil subplot kind of thing.
Yes.
Yes. Because then at the end of the movie, he's like not wanting to race the new racer, but he gets bought out by Dynaco. Like they just like the Dynaco guy comes over. He's like, let's us billionaires talk. And they go off and like figure it out by having Dynaco buy out Rusty's. Like, dude, so problematic to just like CEOs solve their problems.
It's the good billionaire that comes in and saves the day, Ryan.
Yeah. So, but
Larry Ellison.
there's at some point that the whole second movie is about lemons, right? They're these car, and they call out that like a gremlin is a shitty exploding car, right? Like it actually was, and show all these old, I thought that was cool. I give them props to pulling in all these weird cars with 3 wheels and all these like, esoteric cars or whatever. It's kind of funny and it's cool, but it does open up this like, are they handicapped? Or
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Or they were like such supposedly shitty models that they're lemons, and there's this concept of lemon, and they stop making their parts because they're like, well, the gremlins suck, so we just stop making their. But the CEO of whatever owns all these car parts was just like, it's not worth it. They keep. Which actually, it should be worth it if you have to keep constantly replacing the parts in a fucking Jeep Wrangler like I did. They're making tons of money off of repairing Jeep Wranglers.
That again implies that they're manufactured, not born, or that there are some cars that are born and some that are manufactured.
They're
like
born and then they find them profitable.
You could buy an artificial heart, technically.
No, but Mater says there are only 58,000 cars that were made with that engine.
Yeah.
Right. And like they're not making gremlins anymore. But like does that mean the gremlins are not fucking anymore?
Yeah.
Like they've just decided to
this
stop
is like
copulating.
You know what I think? I think there's a global totalitarian regime that imposes like a one-child rule for certain species of cars.
Yeah,
it's got to be what it is.
I think
there's no other way.
They're born fleshy and then they get their car parts, right? And as they grow up, they replace them to some extent. And I guess that just like they decide that there's better car parts that are manufactured, but they're based on the decisions you made. You can't like upgrade into it. Sort of like a cyber. Yeah, I think of it. Yeah, maybe like a dystopian cyberpunk kind of thing, right? If you got like, and this is scary because it could happen in our world, right? If you get Meta's brain chip or whatever that they want you to have, this is where we're headed. Meta gets you a brain chip, and then they make a new model of brain chips on a different infrastructure and yours is too old, that's what would happen, right? And I do think that in our world, they would be like, well, you got to upgrade. If you don't have the money, you're done. You age out of the technology and you're homeless, or you don't get any more firmware updates.
There's no other way around it. Yeah, I don't know. I would love a Cars 4 that's a cyberpunk story. That would be kind of fascinating. This is already headed towards a dystopian era in which there's a lot of like Renew sentiment, Logan's Run style. Where they would just like fucking crush you up as a car and put your little weird soft body into something else. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that just, I don't know. It seems like, what would Cars 4 look like? Because we did Cars 2 is insane. Cars 3 is a little more grounded. And then what the fuck would Cars 4?
But it also makes no sense. Like, let's not act like this is a return to like reality.
No,
it would just be
the
Cars 3 essentially is like Creed. Right? It was like,
yes, I said that. I said that to Dixon, but Dixon thought I meant Creed the band.
I was like, I don't think so.
With tires wide
they
open.
They both suck,
with
but I don't think
doors wide open.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Lightning like hands it off. So either it's like we follow the new car that he handed it off to, which I don't think they really established anything like that it works. Kind of like how now we follow Bonnie, but we're not exactly following Bonnie. We're following Woody and Buzz or whatever. But either you hand it off or you have some bizarre reason to go back to some plot with Lightning McQueen. But I think if it's not car racing, that's why the second movie blows. Like it's the second movie, there is a car race, but it's not important. Really.
It's a big grand race, but it's also when Mater starts flying and shooting missiles and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lightning McQueen never wins the big race in all three movies. I thought that was kind of interesting. I had never thought about that.
That's fine.
That is an interesting, like, Rocky 3 kind of thing, right? Like, to have us like, oh, there's this big race, but then, he pushes the car or whatever. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
God.
But it is funny that he
You're
never
right,
wins.
Ryan. I would love it if Cars 4 was like Rocky 4 where Mater died. And Lightning McQueen had to do something.
All right, I'm into it.
Yeah.
What
he
is
has to
the
go up
Polly
against
birthday
Russia.
robot in the Cars movie?
Oh my God. Yeah, what would that be? Holy shit. It's one of the autonomous cars, which doesn't make any sense.
They're all autonomous.
That's the funniest part.
Oh yeah, like
it's
they're really.
like, I got you a self-driving car, and Lightning McQueen's like, "What the fuck?" Are you
I drive myself anyway.
Yeah, no, that's an actually entertaining plot. There's like an evil CEO that starts making like AI car.
Oh
right?
my God!
And
yes,
they're gonna
AI cars
replace
where he's
them.
like, these are all robot cars that'll replace the regular cars. We're gonna union bust. We're gonna fucking replace any of the cars that we had to do for the manufacturing line. We're not gonna need Guido and fucking Luigi for any of the tire replacements anymore. It's all about automated manufacturing and replacement that way. It's weird.
They're the same as all the other cars, except they just don't talk.
Yes.
They don't have eyes. They don't talk. They just move around like regular cars, and it freaks out all these weird cars.
Their eyes are the headlights. They do the headlight eyes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there is one car in Cars 2 that has headlight eyes, and it's like a salesperson in France or
like
Italy, and she's selling. Yeah, she's selling something. I forget.
She's selling headlight eyes.
Headlight eyes.
She's like she's like the guy from Blade Runner. She's like, I made your eyes.
I made your eyes. He's James Wan. James Wan. I don't remember.
You can see through her.
Yes,
I had to go back.
Her windshield is clear.
And she has a steering wheel and she has seats.
Oh my God.
So wild.
It's so dimly lit that it's hard to tell what's going on inside of her, but my God.
Yeah.
And
I
Mater
feel like
is just freaked the fuck out. Disturbed beyond belief.
It is freaky because it opens up way too much for it to be just like 1 second. It opens up way too much. Cars 2
crazy
Cars
shit.
2 is like the Puppet Master sequels.
Cars
I felt like it tried to like think through like what would the implication of this be and sort of try to work it, and it left like it kind of hid stuff at the edges to just be like, oh, we want to answer these, we'll just kind of hide it at the edges. But Cars 2 just keeps like throwing out the Pope and a fucking car with eyes and shit like that, and it just throws it out over, like, he eats wasabi, and never stops to think, like,
It just gets crazier and
this
crazier.
is bad. Yeah, like, this is not good, and the implications of this not good. Yeah, and I'm like, those Puppet Master movies pay no attention to the previous Puppet Master.
They just
it's
don't
the same
give a
thing.
shit.
I'm like, Cars 2 pays no attention. I will say, at the end of Cars 2, I turned to Ella and I was like, Mater's girlfriend. I was like, and we will never see or hear of her again. Like,
Ever.
in
Ever.
Cars 3, she's gone and never.
100%. That's when I watched Cars 2, I didn't mention this at the very top, but when I watched it, and I did watch it in theaters.
Oh,
And,
wow.
Yeah.
Must have been an
Yeah,
experience.
even
I
I
went with my
didn't do that,
parents.
John.
Yeah, I went with my parents, and it was a wild time. But I remember watching it and thinking, so this is what Lion King 1.5 is really like. That was exactly my thoughts, because I was like, oh, you love Timon and Pumbaa? How about you get Timon and Pumbaa for the entire movie?
Yeah.
And just fucking Mater is not a character to carry anything. He really shouldn't be. He's the Jar Jar of this world.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just awful. I hate everything about it. I really wish it was Randy Quaid after you said that, Dixon.
Oh,
Yeah,
would've
that
been
would
so
have been
much
better.
better.
Yeah. They sideline him in Cars 3 pretty well,
Yeah.
right? So I think they
Good.
knew from Cars 2, they're like, well, this is a big mistake. And Cars
Yeah.
3, he's honestly sidelined. Like, he's barely there.
Yeah.
And comparing this to The Lion King or other movies where creatures are anthropomorphized, right? It's like,
Sure.
you can do The Lion King or A Bug's Life, and it's just like, these creatures exist in the world. They have to be able to communicate with each other in order
Yeah.
to establish characters and relations and stuff. Like, that makes sense. They're living beings. We know how their worlds work. And you can't just apply that to Cars. It's just fucking stupid.
You just can't.
You can't do that. You have to establish rules around this shit. It doesn't make any
that's illegal.
sense. And like, it seems to me that Pixar was only making these movies, like Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Cars, because they can't animate humans. And they're like, no, it's like weird, uncanny valley shit. Like, looking at Andy directly in the eyes in the first Toy Story is horrifying.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so
it is.
they're like, well, we have to do other things. We have to have our characters in non-human entities. And so, like, they did a great job in Toy Story of establishing that world. And then A Bug's Life, they're just bugs. Like, it's like any anthropomorphized animal movie. It's been done a million times. And they're just like, what if it's Cars? And they just don't think anything beyond that to make it work.
There's a
didn't
problem
need to.
with that, though, because this is 2 years after The Incredibles. So they did their
Yeah.
first movie
Right.
of
They did
people,
animate
and it was
humans.
fine, and it was huge, and it was good.
Yeah.
And then the next year is Ratatouille.
I thought, was Ratatouille the next year? I thought Ratatouille was
Yeah.
2007. Or you
Yeah,
mean,
and
like-
Cars is 2006.
Oh,
which is
okay.
insane.
After
Yeah.
Cars,
It's
yeah.
just
Well,
fucking
okay,
insane.
both of those are directed by Brad Bird, and he has common sense.
He
We're
knows
talking
what
about
the
John
fuck he's doing.
Lasseter.
Yeah.
that's the difference here. John Lasseter was like, hey, let's fucking do whatever with these fucking cars. I don't give a shit. Why not?
Yeah, I
So
fully
who does
feel
give
like
a shit? Mater in the bathroom.
yeah, I do feel like
he
it's
gets
like
that car bidet, it hits that car taint just right, and the boom,
right,
there you
dude.
go.
That but what is the bathroom for? And the implications of why they need a bidet or what? Yeah, and then
Look,
car
they get all
wash,
their
it was like a car
crusties
wash
out
in
or
there.
whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, but I do think with Pixar, it's like Toy Story. They were trying to use computer animation and push it, and they had this fun idea of like, what if the toys are like right? And they come up with this great idea, and then Bug's Life was kind of like, okay, let's make bugs sentient. And you're right, it's like we can't really do humans, so we'll kind of sideline it. Toy Story was such a big hit, we'll do it again with Toy Story 2. And honestly, like, while that sort of is a cash grab, they did try
Yeah.
with that movie. And then Monsters Inc. again, it's like we have a fun idea.
with
Yeah.
good characters that have depth and problems and emotions. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, Monsters
You know
Inc.
what-
and
you know
Nemo,
what-
like they knew what they were doing. But Cars is definitely the one where it's now been 10 years since Toy Story. Pixar is definitely a thing. It's good and marketable. It's owned by Disney again, right? By then.
Was it
and
owned
and
by
I
Disney?
I
by
don't know when did
Cars?
they get bought by Disney. That because I think that's the point. Yeah, 2006. But they didn't.
So in the production
they
process,
already
maybe
had
it
to
was.
have
So
worked.
prior
Yeah.
to that, I think this was a pitch. I feel like this is a pitch. Like this is John Lasseter being like, "Hey,
And
here's
they
what
were
we can
working
do."
with Disney.
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like at that point it's like, well, let's have a partnership. We'll make some toys. We'll make something that can make toys, and we'll also push our technology further. and put all of that into this fucking movie with Owen Wilson in it. And Disney was like, yeah, let's fucking make it work. Let's do this. Because after that, it's like, Planes is a Disney movie, and you get all the other shit that they like use their technology. At that point, they're like acquired, and sure, fucking use our technology for everything else. And Brad Bird is out there doing Incredibles and Ratatouille, which is like really heartfelt, and you're getting a lot more of the actual soul of what Pixar was supposed to be. And at the same time, you have John Lasseter, who's just like, hey, Disney, like, bring Hayao Miyazaki films over and do all this other shit, and I'll give you Pixar for whatever you want. Allegedly.
I do feel like Cars was fully executives being like, we can sell cars. Figure out how to make a movie with cars. That was it. They didn't even try. They didn't even fucking change the title from the first conversation they had.
You know what they could have fucking
Cars?
done? They could have built this into the Toy Story universe and just had them be like Hot Wheels or something. Like they could have. That would have made a lot more sense. It would have worked in a universe that they already have.
They did.
They could have sold so much fucking merchandise.
They made a Toy Story with cars at the end of this movie.
Technically.
Oh, well, yes. There's that.
What the fuck does that imply?
Oh my God.
Who plays Andy in the Toy Story Cars movie?
A child car.
What the fuck?
Well,
and it's got to be massive. It's like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They're doing practical effects in this world.
No, they're tiny. Yeah, they're tiny car. Like we see car toys that are cars, and Woody is a cowboy.
No, Ryan. Is it animated? Are these animated movies or are they real movies? Because if they're real movies with cars in
That's
them,
not clear,
that makes sense because the same voice of Mac is the same voice of Ham, and they do a whole bit about how he's the same actor each time.
So it must be animated. Yeah, it has to be voice acted.
Versions of that? Yeah, something.
Yeah, so it's animated. But I mean, it's Woody is a human, right? But so it's
more.
Yeah, so it's a car that owns little car toys and other toys.
All right, sure. It's world canonical. I can see this.
It does get strange because you're like, what's Slinky Dog? And we see the fucking pig bank.
Yeah, we do.
Which means there's coins and
fucking
pigs.
The Bugs Life stuff. The Bugs Life cars. They know what bugs look like as cars.
Well, which we do.
There's a child's bedroom.
Car.
They have the Monsters Inc.
The car Toy Story takes place in.
Yeah.
So that implies that they don't just have like garages or parking spaces, but they have entire functioning houses.
They have
in Cars
Yetis.
2. They do. We don't get to see the inside of them. Cars 2 is fucking nuts. Like as they go around the city and there's houses and buildings and shit.
Yeah. There are, but we don't really know what's inside them. We don't know if they have beds or what. But
cubicles that they drive up into for work.
They have analogous Monsters Inc.-esque structures. The Yeti's a thing. Like the monsters are a thing that people know about.
So there's beds that monsters are under? Or, well, they just come out of
the
closet. They come out of the
closet.
Beds. So there's closets. They come out of the closet. They don't necessarily have to have beds, I guess.
That's fine for them.
Yeah, it might be.
Dixon, what do you got? I see you scrolling on your phone.
I'm just looking through all my insane amount of notes. And like, what have I not?
Yeah, we can just jump into any other.
What could it possibly be?
We can jump into any random thing and just be like, when they say we'll make you a nice Italian meal to fatten you up, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, they're like, the ingredients are all the same, but it tastes so much better than at home. It's like, it's because it's organic, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
God.
Ryan, why don't you just go off on Cars 2?
Okay, on Cars 2.
And I will chime in as we go.
Please, just bullet list this.
All right, just the bullet list of things I have, which is like, they mentioned something being...
There's a James Taylor original song in Cars.
Yep.
How the fuck did they get James Taylor to make a shitty song about Main Street not being Main Street anymore?
Yeah.
In that, oh my God.
He probably was like, what, they got an Oscar for Toy Story for music, and he's like, maybe this is my shot. I doesn't seem like that's too.
God, if it had been Randy Newman, that would have been awful.
Yeah, God. Right. James Taylor's actually a good musician, and he made that piece of shit song.
Yeah, they use Newman for the music in like the second, but not any singing. Like they don't have him do a song, but they use him some in one of them.
Randy Newman.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Yeah. So anyway, for Cars 2, my random notes are just like. They mention it going pear-shaped, which means they know what the fuck pears are. But I guess we have farming, and there's a crop and crop dusters, so they are making like food,
Yeah.
just food, I guess.
And they're
right?
eating
Eating
food.
food.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're drinking drinks and they're eating food. Fuck it.
Which is just bizarre. Yeah. We see oil rigs, like we see the production of oil, and it is the way oil is produced for
Yes.
us. So it is
Exact
it
same
is
way.
oil. It is from dinosaurs. There were carbon-based life forms that died and made oil.
They needed to.
Yeah. It would just all of the guns in there. It's just insane to me how fucking they crush a car to death. They like show a dead car that's been crushed already. In that they use a straw, so their mouths work exactly the same way ours do.
Lungs, again,
to create the
implying
pressure
lungs.
difference. Yeah, implying lungs, which Mater passes out from gas.
Yep.
And they mentioned smelling things. I guess Ella was like, they don't have noses. And I was like, well, maybe like a snake. Like they
Yeah,
smell through their
sure.
mouth,
They can
I
taste
guess.
through that.
Yeah,
They're-
but they
it's
do
through
have
the grapes.
olfactory. Yeah.
There is a scene of cars kissing on a bridge in
Yep.
France. That's the only like physical affection that we ever see.
They don't appear to
fuck.
hug. We do see like the high fives kind of, so
Yeah.
shaky kind of stuff, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So like hugging, I guess, maybe, I don't know. They mentioned VIN numbers.
Okay.
Are those like social security numbers? But also those are
be.
on international cars. So the VIN numbers is an international number system that they have for
Yeah. Oh, that's a
uniquely
good
identifying cars
Again,
all over the
global
world.
registry, one child policy.
It's the mark of the beast.
Yeah, the spy network like works together globally without any. Yeah, but they mentioned CIA, FBI when they're trying to ask Mater. So those fully exist,
Yeah.
fully the way they are in our world.
JF car.
Yeah, there had to have been.
say
Yeah,
that.
there had to have been a JF car.
Dixon, what was your
So-
joke? Lincoln Baines Johnson?
Yes, Lincoln Baines Johnson. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Not only does Mater fart, but he hears PP, or he writes like PP and PPS on his note, and he thinks those are funny. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
so
he knows about PP.
yeah, so he knows about PP. I don't understand the bathroom system at all. There's the thing about
No.
him leaking oil, which is embarrassing apparently.
He's like
But-
shits himself or something.
Incontinence?
Or pees himself or shits himself or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Just leaking any fluid is embarrassing, apparently. Bleeding out can be embarrassing.
There's a scene early in the film where Mater is the waiter at the restaurant.
Mater the
that-
waiter?
Yes,
that
yes.
McQueen and whatever her name is are at, and he goes in to get their drink order, and he tastes it through the straw and immediately spits it back out through the straw and is disgusted. And I'm like, is Mater a diesel car maybe? And he's drinking like unleaded drink and he can't process it.
That's true.
And he spits it back in. Like, I don't know why he would be so disgusted by it when everybody else seems to be like having a great
But
time at this
right.
But it goes
bar
through his mouth. I mean, it
I
could be
know,
something
I
he just
know.
finds as gross.
Would that
Yeah.
also imply, I guess the cars themselves probably aren't as prone to psychological breakdown by lead poisoning. So I guess that doesn't matter. But
I don't know.
If they had
there's
leaded
weird
gas and they have
implications of like
unleaded, why would they do that?
they mentioned sun sickness and they ask if lightning is
Suns.
red because of being out in the sun for too much, which is like what?
His
Like
organs
they're
were
outside,
cooked.
they have paint and metal, but how would they turn red unless he was getting so hot
Yeah.
his metal
His
was turning
interior
red? That's
would
insane.
fucking cook. That's
Yeah,
how,
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Like, and I do, yeah, a car would get hot. I get that. In the Planes movie, they mention like altitude sickness. I don't fucking know what that means
any fucking-
either.
I don't-
Yeah. Mater ordered porn. Was that the joke?
was that the joke?
Maybe that might have been the
Amazing.
joke. He talks about in his handwritten fucking letter that he accidentally ordered a movie at the hotel, which implies that they have like normal human hotel rooms. He thought that he was just watching the trailer, but he didn't realize that he had ordered the whole movie, and he was apologizing that he stuck them with the bill for that. Maybe that was a pornographic car movie. Maybe not.
Right?
Does a pornographic car movie involve them just like rubbing their gas pipes against each other? I don't fucking know.
I didn't realize
whatever
I
that- yeah.
ordered a teasing towers 6.
Yeah, right. Mater spits and it looks like gas or oil. But Sally at the end of the first movie tears up tears.
Regular water.
Yeah, she starts
Oh,
tearing
that's
up.
windshield wiper
Oh,
fluid.
it's windshield
fine.
wiper fluid. Okay, fine.
There
fine.
you go,
answered
Ryan.
that.
See,
All
I
right,
got
right.
you. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a mattress on top of a car.
Yes, there is. What is that for?
Ella caught that one. Mad props to Ella. She was like, what the fuck is a mattress for? So I guess they do have beds. They go in garages, but they could have beds if they wanted
car
to.
beds. They have literal
that I guess
car
are
beds.
comfortable enough. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't.
In Cars 2, I want to talk about the relationship between the cars and the other vehicles, because there are planes that the cars ride in. There are boats that the cars ride on.
Yep.
Appearing to operate the boats, maybe. At the end of Cars, there's a helicopter that Mater rides in. Like, they seem to be, these other vehicles seem to be at the service of cars. And I don't know if that's just how the economy is built, and that's how they have to make money, is by like selling their services to the cars, or are they some sort of subservient species that is forced to do the car's bidding? Like, it's just a very odd relationship where essentially planes and boats just function like normal planes and boats, except they have faces and they talk. And then the cars are just people.
Yeah. I think that the crab ship can crab on his own, I would suspect. I don't think he actually needs a pilot in the same way a car doesn't need a driver. So I would probably think that that's just the case, is like he just gets crab. That's his economy. And the planes just happen to, and those are just commercial jets. Born that way, I guess. I don't fucking, but the planes movies definitely established that planes have their own, have their own agency and societal roles in plane-ish towns. That there's a whole race that's just planes racing. That I guess the cars don't care about that. They care about car racing, the planes plane race, and okay, like that's a little weird. That opens up some weird questions I hadn't even thought about. But and there's a crop duster plane, so he just does that job, that fire plane. So so I guess it's just like they're kind of intermingled but slightly different. I have to think they evolved, right?
Yeah,
that there was like there's a common ancestor vehicle.
Anymore.
Sort of, that then they branched off from. And then planes branched off into helicopters at some point. And we do see in the second one, we see a VTOL like take off and landing. So I guess maybe those it was a helicopter plane
like the fucking
parent branch. I don't know.
Of this.
Yeah. So seemingly it's like whales, right? They're like mammals that went back into the ocean, eventually became males. So they're cars that drove
vestigial
back to the
limbs
ocean
and all that.
and became ships.
That's kind of what I was thinking about the way cars might have evolved, is that they used to be like land animals of some sort, like a box.
I mean, there's
with
a horse.
Some sort of arms. They can move their fucking tires in a weird limbful way.
All of these cars have the greatest shocks ever manufactured.
Oh yeah,
they just hop around all over the place, and I don't know how any of that works.
God, I just.
But if like there's little like skeletal structure and muscles inside an axle.
Oh my God, they have tendons and shit and all of that. I don't. Too many. My brain is overloading right now with everything that possibly could.
Yeah, then that can't make much sense, because they can obviously like lose an axle and get it replaced, and it's not. I mean, it has to be painful.
Mostly
they
bionic.
show pain.
They're like they have to be like minimally organic and like mostly bionic. There has to be like
that's true.
Yeah, like there's got to be like a small central chamber of all of their fucking organs.
So it's like
shit.
it's really just like a brain, lungs.
Yeah.
A digestive system, a reproductive system, ?
Sure.
And then everything else is car parts.
Yes, that's right. Everything else is like Android style, like mechanical.
And I guess they had to have created that because when they're born, they just can't do anything if they're literally just a brain.
Evidence here.
Mouth.
Okay, we did not talk about. We didn't. I'm trying to make a point here, Ryan. We didn't talk about this. They feel pain, but only sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Lightning McQueen pops 2 fucking tires and
tires
feels
or shoes.
nothing.
Tires or shoes.
Yeah, tires or shoes, and he's like, and he's fucking just, he's really trying to get to the finish line. And then later, he fucking runs into a cactus patch and he screams in agony.
Oh,
So apparently they can be scratched. But like when they fucking break those parts of their body, they're like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just fucking grind it out. I don't care. But like scratching sucks, and having a bunch of fucking pin needles and shit on you feels awful.
He also gets asphalt, like hot asphalt, on him, and it's just like, I'm dirty. Can someone clean me off?
He just sort of
Like,
So
he's
they-
not screaming in
This
agony
is
from that.
by default a BDSM community.
But
They're very used to it.
yeah, he feels the toe hook and actually acts kind
Go
of like
under
it's
him?
not good. Yeah, that it hurt. But the cactus don't work that way. That bothered me. We didn't even talk about that.
We need to talk about it. God damn.
Like, I think
All
he
right.
should be. He is metal on the exterior. How would a
Yeah,
cactus
why would they stick to him?
at all? Yeah,
It-
I mean,
well,
I guess
no,
if it was
it's soft
hardened
metal.
off-
Ryan,
It
you
could
just don't
scratch the
understand.
paint.
He's got
Yeah.
soft flesh.
I don't
that's
think they
also
show him
metallic.
having like pricks in
Yes,
him
they
when
do.
they pull
They-
him out.
when
of
he
the
comes
cactus.
back,
They do?
He does.
He comes
yeah,
back and they're all
he's got it
stuck
on
to
there.
him. Yeah,
You
there's
see,
a bunch of them
Ryan,
stuck to him.
what you don't understand is that Lightning McQueen is made of porous metal. That's somehow soft.
It's somehow breathable.
It's somehow
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It's he can.
Well, the mouths move so freely.
Yeah, so he's got to have some kind of
maybe at least the
epidermal
front of
style
them-
thing.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
some sort of flexibility to it.
I will say the cactus. That was the one thing I was like, if the cactus is scaled to our size, like
Yeah.
the same way we would expect, then the cars are smaller because of the size of
Yes.
the cactus it's stuck to him. Because it would not on a car, it would not be as big as it is when he comes
Yeah.
back. Like a saguaro falls on top of him too, and
You
they're
don't know how big that
scaled.
cactus was.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I was like, if it's scaled to us, but like saguaros are like
Yeah.
usually like 6 or 7 feet. I think they could get to like 10, maybe they get pretty big. So, but they're close in height to the cars, which means they're more, since they're close in height to us. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, my mind, I was trying to understand the cactus thing, but I still can't tell what size these fucking cars are.
I just don't know. I don't
I don't
fucking
know.
know anymore. Oh God.
A couple of notes from Cars 2 that I think some of the most revealing crazy shit is in like little throwaway shots that last 2 seconds or less, like the bugs in the first Cars,
Yeah.
or the Pope car inside the Pope Mobile is on screen for like 1.3 seconds
Yeah,
and
go
it's
for it.
gone.
Right.
But there's a weird ass montage scene where Mater and McQueen are on the plane and then they are in Tokyo. And there's just a bunch of crazy shit that they show during that time. When they're on the plane, they're watching TV on the plane, and there is a car Japanese game show where the cars are like being brutalized for laughs. Then they get to Tokyo and they see a car kabuki theater production and a car sumo wrestling
yeah.
thing.
Wow.
Just like
I don't remember any of this.
so much. Well, it just
a
goes
fever
by in the
dream.
blink of an
Yeah, it
eye because
flies
it's
by.
through just like a quick montage of like, hey, we're on the plane, we're in Tokyo now, and like they just breeze past it. But it's just the most crazy shit is just packed into these tiny little
There
shots.
is on the side of a building a vacuum cleaner advertisement, and it looks alive. But Ella was we paused and we talked about it
they
quite a
have
bit.
motors inside them.
It's
Are
not
they-
clear though, because I would in Japan not be surprised to see a vacuum with eyes in an ad now. Right? It's like Mr. Sparkle. Like I
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know that proves it, but it does prove vacuums, which is weird.
Why would they need
But that which
vacuums
proves
for the shop
carpets,
and-
which proves right, like yeah, because it's
How
not,
are they stitching carpets together?
It's also like interior detailing that could be
Looms,
happening
car
because
looms.
of that.
Car looms.
Fuck. Oh my God, it's everywhere.
So speaking of the advertisements in the third movie, I got a little distracted at the beginning because there is a pink race car that's just in the shots like behind Lightning, and it had like a ribbon on it at a distance, and I was like, dude, is that breast cancer? And I
Susan
paused and had to
Jacome.
go and find the car, and I got lost in the Wikipedia fandom for Cars because every one of the cars, and even cars that you don't see on television, including an airplane staircase car, like Arrested Development car, have been made into toys. Like anything
You're gonna
that's a
get
car.
hop-ons.
Yeah, without any thought of the implications. It turned out not to be a breast cancer ribbon, but it is like folded that way and has a heart in the center. It has a fucking heart in the center of it. So
Oh my God.
there are hearts, and they know what hearts are. And according to the Wikipedia, which I guess comes from like the back of the packaging for this car,
Beautiful.
it
Like
is
the toy that you can actually buy.
You can buy the toy.
in the real world.
The advertisement on that car is for an online dating for cars.
Oh,
And a heart
eHarmony?
represents and a heart
eHarmony?
represents love. Yes. Yeah. So I didn't even have time to like pause and go through all the advertisements of shit on the side of there is a soccer ball. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yes. Cars 2
forgot
on
all
the
about
TV they're on the game show shit or whatever. There's a fucking soccer ball. So they do have soccer and a World
Okay.
Cup and all of that, but they build a 200,000 car stadium for racing. I guess racing's
Sure.
still like
Fuck
the
it.
biggest
Why
thing.
not?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's,
Holy
yeah.
car fucking, Batman. There's a eHarmony.
I'm imagining a dystopian world where all the cars are like too online and they're just stuck staying in their garages, just surfing the internet and like
Right.
catfishing people
Wait.
and not actually going out and driving into the real world. Maybe that's Cars 4.
Wait, no,
where
but,
Lightning
like-
has to try to
Lightning's
convince the young
son-
people to like get
Lightning's
back
son
out
just plays
into
video
the real
games all
world.
day.
That Dixon,
Yeah.
that image, how do cars commit suicide? Because like you were like they're
Driving in front of
running
a train.
they're running in a garage. Like I mean, okay, well, all the fucking
I see. Yeah.
I just like wow.
I guess they do breathe, so I guess if they just
keep
run
running
in
long
their,
enough,
in their
they
garage, they
fucking
will die.
Yeah, they just
Jesus.
really have to make sure
Holy
there's
shit.
ventilation. Yeah, I guess
That's
there's just
fucking
safety
wild.
concerns. Yeah.
Yeah,
That has to
there's
just be
gotta be
built in. They
something.
just know, that you've got
Well, that's why the cones are
good
there, Ryan, because
ventilation.
the cone has a ventilation at the top.
Right.
So
That's why it's a cone.
all that goes out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that means
What-
they have like
But that means it's
assisted
not
Lightning-
fully protected from the elements.
That's
You could
true.
get rained
Yeah.
on
You could,
in
but
the
you're
cone
fine.
motel.
That's fine.
We
It'll
see
leak out.
trains. We see trains.
We
so
see-
we
we
didn't
do
even
see
talk about that. We do
trains.
see trains. Seemingly, they're like cars on the trains are not alive, just the engine. In the same
would
way that
assume.
like the Mack truck is just the
Yep.
cab.
Okay.
Lightning like jumps in the train for some reason in that one scene, and the train actually speeds up, which I found really strange. He freaks out and he sees that lightning is coming at him, and
Right.
he speeds up instead of trying to break some. I was really
like,
lost
"Fuck
on
you."
why that was. Yeah.
Bust your shit.
No freeloaders.
Yeah, but I guess a car could jump in front of a train or something if they were going to get. But do you
Yeah.
really? You don't really. If you could take the damage of the kind of car wrecks that lightning takes and walk away,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess that.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know what kills you other than like you just run out of car parts eventually. Like we don't know how Stanley died. His widow is still there.
But I
Who's
want to know so
partially
much more
deaf.
about who is
We
it,
didn't talk
Stanley?
about how they hear things.
Oh yeah. Wait, she can't hear much, and then
Yeah.
she talks
What are
to
they
herself.
hearing from? I guess they have ear holes of some
They
kind.
get car
I don't
dementia.
know.
Yeah.
And
Do
yes.
they
Yeah.
hear
They get
through
car
their
dementia.
side windows? I have no idea.
Mater drives
vibrations.
backwards and says he can drive backwards because of his rear view mirrors.
Yeah.
So I guess they're sort of
he can
eyes. They can
see
sort of see behind themselves
To that.
if they have rear view
Eyes in the
mirrors,
back of their
which
heads, yeah.
which Lightning doesn't have. So
Yeah.
Which I
guess
had
those
to
are
look
optional.
up. I was like, wait a minute. NASCARs don't have rear view mirrors? Turns out they don't. Like that
Anything to
seems like
save.
that would be pretty
That's
important
crazy.
to like tell if somebody's trying to pass you or something.
That's what
I
the
don't know,
cruise
that's
for.
That's so
useful.
wild. I don't know.
That's what the crew's for. They tell you if somebody's coming up
I
on
guess.
you.
Crew tells you
Yeah.
everything, and you just have to feel it. I guess that just adds to the tension of driving. But yeah, like there's so many other. I don't even know what the other questions that just surface from thinking about Mater being able to see himself or see like because he has rearview mirrors, any of that shit. I remember. Okay, wait, did I miss it in Cars 1? Did what's her name? What the fuck is the romantic interest name? She's a
Sally.
Porsche. Sally.
Sally, yeah.
Did Sally? Because I think it was in the trailers only. I don't know if it was in the movie. Sally had a tramp stamp.
She does. Yeah, it's in the
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She does,
They
yeah.
talk about the pinstripe tattoo, right? Or whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
is.
her spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Porsche have spoilers that like raise while you're driving, and she has
Uh-huh.
that tattoo in there. Seemingly, that's just like paint,
Sure.
I guess. Yeah,
Sure it is.
but the
Whatever
the implication
Sally wants.
of the like wink wink of seeing it is strange. Yeah, it
That is
continues
the weird,
on the
yeah.
weird
There's a
tension
sexual
that the
language.
cars have with
Yeah.
each other.
Sure. That means that there's probably like I don't know. It would have been funny if one of the cars had like a pineapple on their lawn. That would have been further implications that there's a swingers society within this car. Or like, who knows?
So in the first one, the cars in the audience do a wave of blinking their headlights, and headlights are just headlights for the most part. But
Except
then
for
the two
those twins.
girls kind of flash him. Yeah.
Yes.
Sort
they show
of.
him that they have his number on their headlights. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I think that's one of those, like, as adults, we're supposed to take one implication, but I guess on face value, it's just the, like,
Their fans.
oh, haha, they wrote the numbers on their lights. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But there's some sort of implication to that that's not clear.
Yeah, and the implication is directed by John Lasseter.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
At the end of Cars 2, there's a queen car.
Right.
The Queen of England is
When
like
does she
a
die?
Rolls Royce. And that implies that there's like a royal family of cars
Oh,
that is ruling over everyone in Car England and the Car UK.
that implies that Princess
They might not be
Di
ruling.
actually did
Yes. Yeah.
have an accident in that tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oof.
They may not be ruling. They may still be figureheads.
Well, sure. Tomato.
Yeah.
They siphon a bunch of money from the populace for not doing anything.
Yes.
She knights Mater, which hilariously then they call him Sir Mater, but that's not how that works for non-Commonwealth people. But like,
Master Mater? Is
Oh.
that what else is there in this world that's evolved? Because there's so many things I want to think about, because it's like we don't talk about the nuclear tension between the U.S. and Russia.
Yeah. I think
we
there
don't
would have
talk
to
about
be,
North
right?
Korea and that. We don't, they go to Japan, but they don't talk about Japanese history, Japanese car history.
Yeah, we don't know if there was a Japanese Nagasaki.
We
don't know.
We know that there was a World War II, according to Ryan.
Yeah.
So there was a D-Day in which aquatic boats lowered their walls and a bunch of German cars shot directly into American ones. So, there's just that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of any of this. This world is confusing and scary.
So they mention in the Planes movie, like, I'm saying 100% that car was in World War II. And they actually show him landing on aircraft carriers. There's a fucking Saratoga and the Enterprise, the Fleisenhauer. They show the
Holy
USS
shit.
Fleisenhauer, which means there was a President Fleisenhauer.
Who warned us about the military-industrial complex?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. But that means that was a Pacific Theater, right?
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
Pacific
100%.
Theater battle, so there has
There's
to
no
have been
way around
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that absolutely happened. It's pretty proven, which means there was
The only
a
good
fucking
Japanese
Hitler,
car.
and it means there was a Pearl Harbor, and it means there was a Holocaust
God damn
of
it. Jesus.
Jewish cars, because we know there's Catholicism.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any. Oh my God. I don't know. It unravels so fast.
Was there an FDR car in a wheelchair? Or
Oh, what is a wheelchair?
Well, it's a
or does he
partial
just
tow
get
truck.
towed? Yeah, he's towed.
Yeah.
He's, but they build all of the staging around him so that it obscures the tow truck.
Yeah.
it
So you can't see
doesn't
the tow
look
truck
like
below.
he's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean that there was a Woodrow Wilson car at some point that was also propped up and taking a photo of riding something?
Does this mean that like all of cinema exists in the Cars universe too?
There is a Hollywood. I mean, they made
Yeah,
the
they see the
movies.
Hollywood signs and they talk about the
Why
movies.
wouldn't they
Yeah.
have
You're talking
that?
about Car Woodrow Wilson. That means there's a Cars Birth of a Nation. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
screening
Yeah.
at Car White House.
And there was a living ship that they
Yes.
put slave cars from Africa onto and had bring.
Oh my God.
And it's called
never
America.
thought about it.
It's called America.
Holy
So
fuck.
there was a Christopher Columbus that came over,
Holy shit. Dude, oh
and
my
there were
God.
native people that got
Brian,
whatever
they
the
signed
car
the
equivalent
Magna
of smallpox
Carta.
and shit was. Yeah, everything was
God.
the same except it was cars. The only question is though, all of those things before the 1885
Before
first
Chrysler?
car or whatever. Yeah, but I was saying before whatever the
Is that
1880
why?
Chrysler. Like what was a car before the first car? That's not.
Yeah.
Or what were planes before the first plane? That's
Yeah.
not,
Who knows
I
what
guess
any
like
of that shit is.
was Leonardo da Vinci the like helicopter thing that he drew? Like that's probably what the joke would be, right?
Yeah, he made it. Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah.
not? He knew what it was going to be.
I feel like it can't be that there were cars in, pre 1880 or whenever the engine was invented. Like it has to be that this is a future dystopia, and these cars have like adopted human, like certain points of human history and religion and culture and learnings that have just imprinted upon their society.
Yeah.
And we're seeing glimpses of that.
These-
And they are living in cities that used to be populated by humans that they have taken over.
See, yeah,
And
that's
like they may be remembering history as if it was them that did it, when in reality it was humans that did some portion of that before
Yeah,
these
so-
car human hybrids started taking over.
So was Hendrix Hendrix or a car Hendrix?
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll never know because they never specified if he was Jimmy Carr Hendrix or
But
Jimi
is this
Hendrix.
so? Yeah. So you're saying this is the robots at the end of AI, where they've forgotten humans.
Yeah, they
and
don't know
are-
what the fuck
yeah,
humans
they've
are like.
evolved
Yeah.
from robots into
Exactly
more.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
and
but-
like we know that they at least go back to the Model T
My
in this
theory-
weird fucked up form of them, but we don't know how. So Hendrix is probably a car Hendrix.
my
So
theory?
sometime
here
prior to
is
the 1900s,
we
they
drive a
stop
lot
being
of this.
humans.
I was telling Dixon this too. Like we drive a lot of this theory through the fact that they have organic fucking bones. They have teeth and a tongue. So there must have been at some point of, how like when a dog loses all of its limbs, it can still like somehow like hop and shit. Like there has to have been like a cart that was able to use its tongue and teeth to like pull itself and drag along, or like it bit into an animal, because we know animals existed. And at some
Yep.
point it discovered how to like build limbs for itself, or had some weird sentient shit that like helped it organically form, and then be like, I'm going to chop wood and make like shitty wheels, or I'm going to roll on fucking rocks or some shit, and I'll figure it out. And it started crawling like primordially on land.
There were cave cars that were the
there were
like
cave
Flintstones
cars.
car.
Yeah, exactly. There were cave cars that were like Flintstones cars, and they fed off of the dinosaurs, and eventually they found out that, hey, the dinosaurs make pretty good fuel. Why not? Oh, fuck it. I don't know. Some weird shit like that probably started evolving. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
Because this world, there's no fucking rules to any of it. Why not?
We're trying to, despite what it sounds, we're trying to apply a sense of order to this world.
Look, if we could have landed him, we would have brought Ken Ham on here, and he would have had great
answer this,
answers
yeah.
for how the Cars world works.
Wait,
Because
who is Ken Ham?
Ken Ham is the motherfucker who made the gigantic Ark Museum in like Tennessee.
Oh.
And he debated Bill Nye and said that nothing could change his mind, even if he was shown evidence there was evolution. Ken Ham would have great suggestions about how the Cars universe works. That motherfucker just knows what creationism is, and in and out. Here's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Ella and I talked about it a long time, and I'm full Carvolution. I think that there were earlier
Oh, yeah.
vehicles. Yeah, I think that
Yes,
this is all
they had
just
to.
100% our world, but there were
Do you think
vehicles
they have
before
that
cars
same
that
image,
became cars.
like we have of the ape turning into man, and then the man being in a computer? That the cars have that
That it's like a wagon, right? Yeah.
station wagon and fucking the Model T, and it's got to be like a fucking sentient cart that was drawn by horses that were just generous enough to do it.
And the
Yeah.
Ferrari logo is a horse, so there were horses or are horses.
They're descended from the great horse people.
Yeah, I think horses became cars,
horse
and
cultures.
there were sentient horses, which is what would make sense why they would have horses as a
Centaurs.
logo for
Yeah.
for like Porsches and Ferraris and whatever have horses on their logos.
If you look at the hooves and the sign of the hooves, and you see that they have circular rings and evolve into wheels and tires. Yeah, just get Alex Jones. in there.
Don't
He'd
get
help,
started
too.
on the car Knight Templars or whatever, in Grove or whatever. Fuck it was.
When we were alive during the Crusades, there it is. Boom. That's the pun that you need.
Oh my god.
They're all over the place. Oh my god. Oh, could you imagine? Bird like fucking this. The seventh seal is in this.
Oh,
They have
wow.
a 7th seal because they have a Hollywood. Ingmar Bergman is here too. Like,
There's a devil car.
There
Yes.
is a like Grim Reaper car
Death
in
car.
one of the car's shorts. So we didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
really?
So
The
mentioning.
fuck?
All right, I mentioned planes, and I've like thrown it out a couple times. Again,
Yeah.
continuing to market the insanity of this, like cars, whatever bullshit. They made all these like shorts that they ran on like the Disney Channel and on like DVDs and probably John's Blu-ray and shit
Yeah.
that came out over time. They had just made more and more and just cranked out tons of these and like kind of a TV show and shit like
Is it
that.
with the original cast?
It's mostly Mater tells some bullshit story and Lightning reacts, and sometimes other characters are pulled back in. So it's some of the main cast, but mostly.
But, like, did they get Owen Wilson to do these
Definitely
things?
Owen Wilson and
Probably.
Larry the Cable Guy. Yes, they brought them into a booth and cranked out a fuck ton of shorts and then let them go, I guess. But they always run on
They're
this
still
like
there.
yeah. Mater tells a story about how one time he ended up like in the Blue Angels and they put a fucking jet engine on the back of him somehow. And then Lightning's like, that sounds like bullshit. And Mater's like, oh no, you were there, remember? And then somehow he remembers Lightning being there. But then after he tells this insane fucking story, something actually happens back where he's telling the story that verifies that it's true. Like the Blue Angels fly by and are like, hey, Mater. And in those, there's a UFO. It's like confirmed.
oh my God.
There's a
I was
Grim
gonna think
Reaper
about that.
that's like following one of them. There's
Wow.
fucking ghosts.
They have disclosure day.
There's ghost cars. Like
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
they open up a whole
the souls
level
of
of
cars
insanity.
stay behind.
Yes.
Are we talking ghost cars like The Simpsons, where you turn
It's
your
a
headlights
ghost
off
car.
at night? Yeah, there are ghost cars all over these highways. You know.
Yeah.
scared.
No, these are like you see them. They're green and like floating because it's
Wow.
Disney, so they're like the haunted house
Souls.
ghosts.
Yeah, they're just
from the
souls.
park. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's fucking wild. That's
So again, those car shorts were made by the people that make Cars 2, apparently, because they just fucking go off on insane shit that makes no sense.
sure. Why not? There's so much I want to know about the Cars universe because it is implied that everything is basically just stolen from our human world, which means that there's the exact same amount of darkness in that world that there is here. So I want to know about the fucking geopolitical tension. I want to know about the Israeli-Palestinian car conflict.
You don't want to
going
know
on.
about that.
I really
Yeah.
don't want to, but also like it's there. Like
Definitely is.
definitely there.
There's
I wanna-
definitely a bunch of wars in the Middle East over oil, and
I-
thus
I-
there is an Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
This absolutely. There's oil rigs. There's this whole plot about this large oil deposit out there in the ocean that they got, and they're being fucking criminals to keep it.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely.
all of that shit.
All of
I want to
that.
know about Kneecap exists in this world, and I want to know about how they, go with like London and UK and all that shit. Like
called
fuck
Hubcap.
that. Yeah, they're called Hubcap. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yes, that's exactly what it is. There's that. There's so many other stories. Like I want to know about the divorced dad cars and the divorced wife cars and what they're going through with their baby cars. Like,
Yeah.
This, what the fuck is this?
What
Do
is the
they
school system?
Wait,
How does any of that work? What are they raising these cars to learn?
for the
and to
alternative
be?
fuels? Like, how are they legalizing it? Because it's a victimless crime to have alternative fuel. Like, I don't know why.
Why is it a crime?
Yeah, exactly. Again,
Big oil,
one
big
other
oil.
thing we didn't mention: Lightning McQueen automatically assumes that a police car is shooting at him, so the cop cars are trigger happy as well.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
just
well, I mean,
a
we see so many
standard
fucking
thing.
guns and bullets in the second one, and they're from spy organizations. So
Just
all
no
of that,
way around
100%.
this. The CIA's there, all of that.
Yeah, the cops have been militarized and all
Dixon,
of that.
what do you got? I see you pulling something up.
Yeah, a couple notes from Cars 3. So there's a bar that they go to called the Cotter Pin Bar and Grill. Like, what the fuck are they grilling? Why do they need to cook anything?
Like sushi.
They put
There's pictures of
oil on the
hamburgers in
thing.
Japan. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
Fish
with
cars.
that. But
Yeah.
so
they just eat the inside of those tractors.
God, that's horrifying.
ground tractor burgers.
Jesus Christ.
The plot of Cars 3 is that Lightning is not as fast as he used to be, and there's all these new next gen cars that use science to drive faster than ever.
Yep.
And he has to employ a car trainer in order to like get him into shape to be at the same competitive level as the next gen modern cars. And she's trying to motivate him, and she says, "Quote, get that arthritis riddled keister onto the track so I can put you into the old folks' home against your will."
Jesus.
That sentence opens so many questions.
Brutal.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you get arthritis as a car? Like your
Carthritis.
ball bearings are swelling or something as you get
Yeah.
older? Like that doesn't make
your
any
parts.
sense.
Well,
You gotta get like
Mater at
belts
one point
replaced
says
and shit, right? Like, so they're just parts
Yeah.
that start to wear out. Yeah.
Mater says that he
Yeah.
would give his 2 lug nuts
Like,
to
does
be
he?
with somebody at one point.
I don't know that it would be, worth being with somebody without your lug nuts, Mater. But then there's old folks' homes. Like, so what is that?
Yeah.
So like when you're broken down and you can't afford to replace your parts anymore, or they don't make your parts anymore, you go to the old folks' home, which is, I would think you would just get scrapped for parts or something. I
guess
but
eventually.
an old folks' home implies that they're keeping you alive and trying to treat your disorder in some sort of weird, fucked up garage for old broken down cars. But like, you don't leave the old folks home and return to society, right? So they're not actually fixing the cars. They're just kind of managing the problem and keeping them as functional as they can until they inevitably just can't be fixed anymore. Like,
Well,
when
then
does
they-
the
yeah,
life
like-
force leave the car?
They
we don't-
wait for their
so
child
Doc
cars to
dies.
call them.
Yeah, they never call. Doc dies
Yeah,
between the first and second movie.
But we
so
don't ever explain it
we don't
because
know
Paul
why or
Newman
how.
just dies, and
Yeah.
so we just can't address that, and he's just not there anymore. But we don't have.
But we know, and we know cars die. Like the founder of the town of Radiator Springs is dead or whatever. Somehow his wife is still like kind of going. See, I think it's in Planes, but there's some character that before the movie or show says that they used to work with the elderly. So yeah, it's like multiple confirmed that there's some sort of like old folks home or hospice for cars.
Car hospice.
God. This fucking garage that you wait
And
your life out
yeah,
at.
yeah. I do think that the implication is that your parts don't get made anymore, to where there aren't things that fit you.
You
Mater's
get phased
junkyard
out,
is
yeah.
like full of mufflers. I'm not sure what, and probably like catalytic
yeah.
converters and stuff. Like I'm not sure what those are, but parts from cars that died
Wouldn't
or
that be
got wrecked
incredibly
or something.
disturbing to see that as a car? Like
They
for
don't-
Lightning to
yeah.
just wake up in a junkyard, like surrounded
Surrounded
by
by
the wreckage
body
of
parts?
all of these dead cars. Like that has to be incredibly disturbing, but he just like moves on immediately.
They don't.
from
I guess
that.
they just don't seem that bothered because I think those parts are replaceable. Like he gets headlights in the
Yeah.
third movie, so those
Yeah,
are
he
like,
does.
They can
Yeah.
come in and out from you, right? Like, and that's okay. So those aren't like,
weird.
yeah, those are. It's like kind of like clothes-ish, I guess,
Sort of.
sort of. Yeah, which is weird. Oh fuck! I fucking lost it.
You'll never remember it now. You just can't. You just can't bring it back. There's no way to come back from whatever the fuck you were trying to think of, because Cars is just insane. There's no. I don't even know how to describe most of this world. As we've gone down it, I feel like I have no further definition of it. I just have less of an idea of what the fuck the world is.
Yeah, no, the more questions you ask, the more you realize that you don't know. Right?
There's just
And
no
it's
way
just-
to make it all work.
It's a
Yeah.
humbling experience. It's a humbling experience to
Uh-huh.
behold whatever the fuck this is.
The fucking hubris of Pixar to make this and just not think even like half of a time about what this world might look like or any of the implications of building any structure around this thing is just wild. Like there's no reason they couldn't have built a structured universe that made sense and also have a bunch of car puns and analogies toward the modern world and all of that.
Yeah,
And
just have it be
like I said,
made
if they
up.
just built it in the Toy Story world and had them be Hot Wheels or something, that would have made perfect sense. And they still could have done all of that kind of stuff. They have tongue-in-cheek jokes like that in Toy Story. It's just all, it's just fucking insane.
Yeah, I think just have it be fully made up. Or like,
Yeah.
I don't know, weirdly like The Good Dinosaur, I guess, kind of show us.
Oh, The Good Dinosaur.
I never saw that.
What a fucking movie. They do mushrooms in that movie, Dixon.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
That
It's
was
a
hilarious.
kids-friendly mushroom experience where it's the best part of the movies when they do mushrooms, obviously. It's so funny.
I guess.
But yeah,
Is The Good Dinosaur a prequel to Cars?
I wish. I mean, probably
Yeah, right.
in some degree.
Oh,
Do you
there's
think
the theory that all of that shit. There's a theory that all the Pixar movies are all
are connected because the Pizza Planet cars in all of them, right? Like it's everywhere.
Yeah, there's lots of little references to each other, and the pizza car is always in it.
And the Dinoco station is in Toy Story, and they have some other fucking shit. Like
there's lots of like reused stuff, but I just think that's like fun winks, like, and it's funny to try to make like a unified timeline. But if you do, it's as bad as the fucking Zelda games. Like it doesn't actually work. You're just trying to say that there's some or fucking Castlevania like that. Also, like those video games like that, there's just no sense. It just is for fun. But yeah, no, I think I'm even thinking about the Pixar, and I'm like almost all of them just like essentially, but like Up. They don't say that it's New York or anything, right? Like it just is some made up places that they mention, right? And I think that like later something like Elemental or Onward, it's just fucking made up. That would probably have been the better thing to do. Yeah. Though Elemental has that weird, also has like the immigrant story thing. It's kind of strange.
Race thing,
and racism, it's strange or whatever. Yeah. But at least it's like you deal with that, but you don't have to think about like, where the fuck did water people come from? Right? You don't have to sit there because they don't act like it's America. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But this is the biggest mistake of the movie, is just that everything takes place in like California and the US instead of like fucking Cartopia or some shit. Like fine, Cartopia, whatever the fuck. But the fact that it's California, like what are you doing?
I can only think that it was solely Route 66.
Yes.
That they wanted Route 66. They wanted to use the Route 66 song, and they wanted to talk about that, and that was it. And they just the unraveling of problems.
Fucking absurd.
The can of worms that comes out of like requiring like no, it has to be Route 66 in California. It just introduces all these other problems.
Yeah, all this thing is just I don't even know what any of this is. Is there anything that we have not talked about that either of you guys are like, we need to discuss this aspect of the Cars universe?
Things to discuss or other insanity, like they mentioned moonshine in the third one.
Yeah.
Anything in my notes.
Talk about running moonshine. It's like, what? Again, I guess the cars can get drunk. We know this.
Baron.
And there was a prohibition.
Yeah.
On whatever it was that they get drunk on.
Why not?
That means there's a car Al Capone.
That means there's a car Geraldo who revealed Car Al Capone's vault. Oh, God. There's so many implications with all this bullshit.
So the one other thing, it is weird that they have like actual people that are actually people from our world. Like I mentioned, Lewis Hamilton. But they do this sort of fun thing where they pull in NASCAR people into some of the like pivotal roles of the racers. And then in the third movie... So King is Richard Petty, right? I think
he's something. I don't know what role. I know he was in the credits. I was like, oh, I know that's a NASCAR guy.
Yeah,
but
I
don't recognize his voice.
Yeah, so King is Richard Petty, and in the third movie, they show several of the cars are like new cars, but they've taken this. They're on the same team, right? And they have the same branding and all that. And the Dinoco car is played by Richard Petty's son, Kyle Petty. I think Kyle is his name. Who didn't reach his father's level of success, and they actually make that joke in the movie. And I kind of wondered like how you would feel about that, but I guess it's like he made a lot of money as a racer, even if he wasn't, a massively successful racer. And he's, whatever, he's getting paid for this and have a laugh at that expense or whatever. But I that is an even further weird stretch to have actual people. And again, I think they do it for like the laugh of like having Bob Cutlass and having the actual voice or the Jay Leno car or whatever.
How much do you think Bob Costas got paid for like 30 minutes in the booth?
Yeah, I would assume kind of the same as most of the other people that, the people that weren't top billing, but other people within this.
Oh, God. Too much.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
More or less than Jeremy Piven. I hope more.
Hopefully more. Jeremy Piven was a calculator.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about like all the people, the cast that they got for this. Fucking Michael Keaton is the Chick Hicks car.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So
Yeah,
fucking wild.
which then he has a weird, like he's like a announcer type, talking head type or whatever in the third one.
Yeah.
Right, where he's like commenting on the racing and all that. It's like weird that he's still in the industry and still an asshole. And I guess I mean he wins a Piston Cup. I guess at the end of the first movie, he's at least
why not?
Yeah, he at least wins one Piston Cup. Seemingly, Lightning McQueen just owns racing between the end of Cars and the start of Cars 3. How many Piston Cups must he have ended up with in that time
who
window?
knows?
In
We never
Cars
see it.
2, I think they say he has 4.
He's at 4.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And that's in 2. And I don't think they ever mention in 3 how many
he's
he has
still
at that
like
point.
pretty much winning easily at the start of Cars 3 before Jackson Storm
Yeah.
shows up.
Well, Dixon.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to bring this to a close.
We have
we're
to.
all
Somewhere,
confused
somewhere.
and know less than we did when we started this conversation about the Cars universe. I think, like, Ryan, would you recommend the Cars movies broadly? And then do you have any sort of broader theory that you would like to impart on any of this?
For people with little kids looking for movies to watch that are enjoyable, that their kids will probably enjoy, and I'm talking like maybe 9 and under, maybe 8 and under, I mean real little, Cars, and honestly Cars 3 I kind of think is as good as Cars 1. I think it's fine. It's also kind of stupid, the subplot of like the other... Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I have one more thing to bitch on. All right, so...
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, sorry. Cars 1, Cars 3 maybe. Cars 2 is abysmal, and it opens way too many questions, and I think it might be dangerous for a child to watch it with the number of murders on screen that happen. The Planes movies are not that great either, but the second Planes movie is better than the first. It's weird sometimes when they can, in these kids' movies, the sequels end up being better as they actually find their footing in some way. The plot in Cars 3 is that Lightning is like losing it, right? And so he goes and he trains and he goes to all the old tracks and he has that trainer that comes around with him and talks about him being old and the weird things that she says. We find out that she didn't want to be a trainer. She wanted to be a racer, but she chickened out when she had her big chance and was in an official race and she didn't race. And so Lightning ends up pushing her. And at the end of the movie, essentially what happens in the big race is Lightning takes a few of the laps and realizes he can't quite do it, that he still can't quite get himself there, that it is time. And he also has learned that like Doc Hudson, who in the first movie we saw was fucking super depressed and in a really weird state in that town, actually really enjoyed being the coach for Lightning over the years and wrote letters to his old friends about how awesome it was being coach for Lightning. And so Lightning realizes like, oh, that's what I need to do now, is my time is over and the new kids are coming up or whatever. And in the middle of the race, he pulls out and tells her to finish the race, that she can do it and win, and this is her time to show everybody. And they essentially, Air Bud, say only the number needs to be in the race and that anyone could go in.
Yep.
No. You can't just stop in the middle of the marathon and then run over to Usain Bolt
relay.
and put on your number on him and say, finish the race for me, you're fast. And anyone think that's not a disqualification.
Yeah.
Right? And
then he gets credit for the win at the end.
Yes,
it's like a
yeah.
starting pitcher.
Yeah,
got
exactly.
credit for the win, despite the fact that he was losing when he was pulled from the game.
This has happened before? They knew that and knew that was in the rules? I don't know. And
also, he has to give her a pep talk to get her to actually take his place and get in, and then they have to like put tires on her and paint her and all this shit. It's like a 5-minute pit stop.
Yeah,
and
there's
the
no way
entire all
I
of
agree.
Cars and Cars 3 is focused on like having the shortest pit stops possible.
Yeah.
Like sometimes to the detriment of Lightning, where he's not doing all the things, he's like not getting new tires. He's only gassing up, and he's like, causing issues for himself because he's spending not enough time at the pits. But like the whole thing is like the Italian car Guido is the fastest pit guy there is, and it allows him to be faster and win races. And then he just has like a heart-to-heart 5-minute talk with whatever Cruz, and then gets her to sub in for him, and then she just wins the race. Like they would have been down 10 laps by the time she got back
Yeah.
in there. There's no fucking way.
I think she says she's down like 3 laps, but there's no way because
No.
it's like two. Yeah, there's no way. But just the insanity of that whole plot, and it's essentially Star is Born. Like he just shoves her out on the stage, right?
She's fine.
Like, seeming a little bit against her will, and then talks her through winning the race. Yeah, absolutely fucking bonkers at the end of that movie to be the thing. I get it. I think it's correct, like story wise, to be like, hey, she should become the racer and I should step back. Doing it in the fucking middle of the race. It's just the most fucking insane thing. I was losing my mind because it was every Air Bud movie over again.
Yeah. It's also just horrible character development because Cruz is an asshole to him the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
You're an old piece of shit. I'm going to prevent you from actually getting in the simulator or teaching you how to use it correctly and be a tool of the idiot billionaire CEO who doesn't actually want you to race and just wants you to hawk mud flaps for the rest of your career. And then she's like, gets mad at him when he finally stands up for himself. She's like, what, you think I always wanted to be a trainer? I always wanted to be a racer because of you, because you were my hero. And it's like, no, he wasn't. You were an asshole to him the entire time. Like, why?
Yeah, what
like,
the fuck?
that's as if, she got to work with LeBron James, who's like still trying to do it at 41 years old, and then just like shat all over him the whole time, and then got offended when he stood up for himself. Like, what the hell's going on here?
I guess maybe if you crashed out and you resented basketball stars because you weren't one, but you still stayed close to basketball, like that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Like why would you still be involved? Why would you be a basketball coach then? And like,
because she was
be
sports
actively
car.
coaching professional players. Like, it's just it's so dumb. And then immediately, like Lightning just it understands her completely and is like, oh, of course, she just missed her shot and she just needs a break, and I need to just completely put aside my own career for this person who's treated me like shit the entire movie. And it's just really stupid. I thought it was just very poorly done as far as the characters go, which every Cars movie is, but the first two Cars movies don't try to build character depth, and this one does, and it just fails miserably.
Yeah, it just makes it terrible at the finish line. Just like Lightning McQueen, it fails at the finish line. So actually, I guess technically he won that race, so I was wrong that he lost every major race, but he pulled himself out. I don't think he won. I would be fine.
Bullshit.
I would be fine if it ended up that she did disqualify, because that would be like, it should just be she gets out there
fair.
and everyone's like, this is fucking
It's what it
stupid,
is.
and she disqualifies and they all get mad at her, but then she wins and they realize, I guess Rocky-ish
heart
style,
or
like she
whatever.
has this
Yeah.
potential and she can go on and she gets picked up by Rusty's.
Yes.
Or whatever. But yeah, the CEO
So
also
you
doesn't
would
get any.
recommend.
Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think Cars 1 and Cars 3 are fine. Cars 2 is fucking nuts. But only really little kids. Because I actually think as a family, you could sit down and even with older kids, or you're in high school, or you're just an adult that's bored and you want something to watch, and watch the Toy Story movies, and they're great.
Yeah.
They're great. No. Not any of these
No.
three. I think as an adult,
None of this.
all of them are.
So you're
are
not
awful
recommending
as an adult.
Cars?
Yeah, I don't recommend them. Yeah, they're for
All right.
babies.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good.
John, would you recommend Cars, and do you have any further theories that you'd like to add?
I got a sentimental spot for Cars because
It was
it's
your
my
first
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray? Wow, it started your massive collection.
Yeah, you never forget your first. And unfortunately, I don't. But I wouldn't recommend Cars. It's such a fucking bland movie from a storytelling standpoint. And I think that the people who would want to watch it don't know that they want to watch it. And so I can't recommend it because it's like, you want to pick apart this universe. We've already done it for you on this episode. If you're going to get back into it and bring up other ideas, go for it. But I'm not going to recommend that you waste your time with this. Dixon already watched it twice over.
Yeah.
I've watched it. I
I
watched
watched
it
all
once,
three of them on consecutive nights, and I was like,
God.
we have to talk about this on the podcast. And then I had to watch them all again.
Yeah, and
to
then
be
Ryan
ready for
watched
this.
Planes as well. And the only thing that left that we haven't done, we haven't drafted the version of Boats. There's no Boats movie.
True.
What is Boats
There are
supposed
lots
to
of
be
boats
about?
in Cars too.
Because Ryan,
Yeah.
what do you think Boats would be about?
I'm
sorry to interrupt the
Yeah, I
recommended
guess
review section.
with the first Planes movie also being about racing, it's
Boats
kind of
would also
dumb
be
because
about
originally,
racing?
it would probably have been that. But I do think that the second Planes movie at least introduces that you could still use the universe to do some fucking something else and not
Yeah.
just have it be racing, as if that's even
It should be
deserved for
boats,
movies.
like
Yeah.
European boats that believe that there is a new world across the ocean.
It's Andrew.
Journeying across the sea
dealing with
to fight against
boat
sea
scurvy.
monsters and find India.
I thought you were going to do boats via Dunkirk, where the main character is a tugboat who doesn't know what difference he can make in a war.
Oh, God.
And, he does what he could.
I hate that idea.
And his
Well,
buddy
then that sounds
unloads
like
troops.
it's the right idea for the executives to follow.
Yeah. Seemingly you could just make whatever and just have it be cars instead of people. Then it loses any point.
And you can do boats.
Right?
instead
If it's
of
just the same thing,
anybody.
but it's boats with people. So I guess it would have to be boat-centric somehow. It's like
Yeah.
the
That was,
fucking-
are the submarines
Oh my
going to
God.
be like...
What
are
was the
submarines
Titanic?
animals or like... Yeah, the Titanic. How did the Titanic
Was
happen? Were
there-
there cars on that boat?
Yeah, and did
He
it
fell
itself
asleep.
crash into the
Yeah.
iceberg?
Yeah.
It couldn't see in the distance because of the weather and everything. And it couldn't turn fast enough because it's, boat.
Yeah. Was the Valdez actually ripped across its own side?
Oh
with
my
oil
God. Could
pouring
you
out?
imagine? Because it's supposed to hold however many thousands of cars. There's a giant wood plank that one car is sitting on while the other one has to sit off to the side and drown.
And are the inflatable boats
my
that they
God.
get into also sentient, or are they?
Leonardo DiCaprio. You
my
fucking just.
This giant car-sized door.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, definitely a car ocean liner would have car lifeboat. We keep saying car because the car is universe, but it would have
gotta
sentient
be, yeah.
lifeboats
Yeah.
hanging off the side of it. Definitely.
Yeah.
They'd be
Yeah.
horrified by what they saw.
Unless
And
it's
all the
unless
pizza
it's only
cars.
engines, I guess, right? Yeah, I don't.
Man.
No, I think the lifeboats have engines, don't they?
Wait, but if,
Some,
if
they
the
I don't know if the
boat,
doors.
Titanic's one did. I don't know how that.
if the boat itself was supposed to be sentient, but it also was steam powered, do you have tiny cars shoveling coal into the center of the furnaces?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Yeah, he just
God.
somehow reaches back behind himself and
There's
takes a bite out of.
So many wild questions about this. They have cars in the crow's nest and they can't get
Yeah.
the fucking binoculars out.
They used to have children cars work in the coal mines until.
God.
They-
Yeah, they really did. Oh, I want to know about the Pinkerton cars and they're fucking busting unions and shit. Oh my God. They're just lowering cars into the mines. Oh. God, there's rich lore here, but I don't recommend this movie and or its franchise. Dixon, what about you?
I do not recommend any of the Cars movies. If you are a weird, fucked up person like the three of us and you like identifying the inconsistencies in a universe, there is something fun about that. I have very much enjoyed this conversation. If you want to watch it with some friends and pick apart all the insanity of especially Cars 2, but you have to watch Cars in order to establish the universe before you get there. And there's so much to point out about Cars 2. Cars also, sorry. When I watched Cars, I was just so flabbergasted that I was I have to watch the others because this just makes no sense. And I have to see if they answer any of these questions that I have. And of course they don't. And it makes less and less sense.
Cars
as
2
it goes,
just
but-
blasts the door off of fucking
Yeah,
Karen.
it doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah. But I would not recommend this unless you get together with some friends and have some beverages of your choice to help the experience go down smoother and, just openly make fun of this movie and ask all the existential questions that we are asking. That could be a fun time, but generally, no, I'm not going to recommend any of the Cars movies. So, I can't really believe that they made this after making Toy Story and having just so much structure around it and then completely abandoning it for all of this. It's wild to see. And I don't know, everybody that I've talked to about this, except for you guys, is what is wrong with you? Why are you asking these questions? It's just a fun kids movie. Just go with it. I'm no, but it doesn't make any sense. What the car? There are child cars. There are fucking child cars. We have to talk about this. And nobody,
Wait. We have a moral obligation to tell the children. Oh, God.
The ethanol and the gasoline's turning the cars gay.
I want to know where the car taint is.
I think my best guess is that the exhaust pipe is the car cloaca, and it just does everything.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But again, it's just there for all to see, and then everyone is grossed out when they see car undercarriages. So I don't know how to square that circle, but that's the best I can do with the information that I have. Is that's my theory about car digestion and reproduction.
Amazing.
Anyway, if you have thoughts on the Cars movies, please let us know. Join our Discord and tell us what you think about Cars, because I would be thrilled to continue the conversation and have hear other thoughts. I feel like when I do, on a rare occasion, talk to somebody who is interested in this, they will pose things that I have not thought of. So it is fun to hear other people's opinions on what the fuck any of this is. So, leave us a review, talk about Cars and what you think about it. Go join our Discord, leave a comment, and we would be thrilled to engage with you. But I don't know what this was. I have been your host, Michael Dixon. This was some fucking crazy bullshit. With me, as always,
Ryan King. While Cars universe confirms Car Hitler, I like that in the Minions universe, they're supposed to work for like the most evil person, and they just happen to get frozen in the early 1940s. So that they can just skip past that part.
but they were alive in the late 30s.
Oh yeah, they get frozen in ice to
Right before.
Right, but Hitler was
World War II,
doing
and then
horrible
unfrozen.
things in the late 30s.
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, somewhere in
He
there.
wasn't at full power then, so it's
Yeah.
totally okay.
Okay. And
John Garcia. There's also like a Schwarzenegger Hummer in this, and like
Yeah,
some
that's-
other celebrity
that's
shit. I
Governor,
don't
yeah.
understand because Jimi Hendrix is a human maybe in this, or a car in it. Fucking, I don't know, but I don't fucking know. There's still so many more questions. The universe is vast and expansive in the Cars world, and who knows, especially because we barely touched on the fact that they have like Buzz All-Terrain and whatever the fuck else. Who knows who's out in space? I can't wait to learn about
aliens.
it. Yeah, Cars 4 and or boats, whatever the other story is. I'm interested to see what unhinged bullshit they bring in.
Yeah. Thanks for putting up with our car shit.
Hey there, movie buffs, TV toughs, and all listeners in between. John here from the Afterthoughts podcast. I just wanted to drop in at the end of this episode and say thanks for listening. If you've got afterthoughts of your own to share, hit us up. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Afterpod, or jump into a conversation on our Discord server. You can find info for this and more at theafterpod.transistor.fm. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.